like and subscribe. Yes, like and subscribe. Oh, chill, everybody, chill. Oh, again. Oh, you don't need to. It's okay. Oh, thank you all. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to the Gorilla Tag. No. Welcome to the stream. All right, guys. We are here in YouTube, bruh. We are here, chat. Like and subscribe, alright? What's up, Foolish? Welcome to the stream, dude. What's good? Make sure you guys like the stream and subscribe, okay? Alright. What's up, Emmett? Face reveal? Hell nah. Maybe sometime later, but if I do that, YouTube might remove my streaming because they might think I'm under 16 when I'm not. When are you doing IRL stream? Probably, well, no. I'm not. I'm going to do a gaming stream. I'm not going to do the IRL stuff because I don't want to really buy anything. So, yeah. Shout out to W Rex. Thank you for the sub, bro. Alright, hold up. Before we start, I just need to make my microphone higher. There we go. Okay, we're back. We're actually back. I hope, hello? Is this good? Are we good? Alright, that's good. That's perfect. Alright. Can you get my reboot? What do you mean? What? Hell nah, I can't get your reboot. You gotta subscribe to me, bro. When you subscribe to me, I'll think about it. Alright? Shout out to Rorono. Alright, first sword chat. Alright.
The school bully kicked down a 6'9" freshman, and when his tray fell, he picked up the spaghetti and squeezed it over his head.
6'9" freshman. Holy, 6'9"? What the hell?
The best part about this is you can't do crap about it, Giraffe. But this freshman towered over him and said, "What did you just say to me?" The entire cafeteria went silent because no one had ever stood up to Logan.
Oh my God.
Be careful what you say next, circus freak. My dad practically owns this school. But the new kid just smirked. Oh yeah, what's his name? He puffed his chest out. John Donaldson.
Who the hell is John Donaldson? What the hell, chat? What's up, Angel Anime? What's up, Venom?
The new kid chuckled. His boss's name is Liam McManus, right? I know because that's my
what the
name.
What are these names, chat?
For a second, Logan didn't say anything, and all of us had our mouths wide open because no one had ever seen him be quiet before. The new kid leaned in and whispered, "By the way, my dad says yours is a little bitch, like."
Yo, family friendly. What's up, ZD? What's up, Vine Rush? Everybody subscribe if you want a shout out, alright, guys?
Father, like son. He suddenly went red with anger and started crashing out. How effing dare you? The kid's hand closed over Logan's whole head.
Oh,
he
nah.
lifted him in the air like it was nothing.
Oh my gosh. This guy's 6'9", by the way.
Logan started
like, holy.
At nothing. Put me down.
At that point, you're probably gonna break the wall if you step.
The new kid smiled, and while still carrying Logan, he crouched down to the tray of spaghetti on the floor, picked it up, and smeared it on Logan's face.
Oh, hell nah.
Logan kept kicking while being suspended in the air, and his sweatpants fell to his ankles to
what the hell?
Reveal SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, bro? Shout out to Jay Says Gaming.
Boxers.
Are you serious?
Every kid Logan had ever bullied was now laughing at him with their phones out. The new kid smiled. The best part about this is you can't do crap about it, little man. The school...
Oh, nah.
Me and my boys...
Oh, we already watched.
When my history teacher accidentally taught us about Caveman Kevin, the dumbest...
Who's Caveman Kevin? I do not... Shout out to Clyde. I don't know who that is. Shout out to I Love Cat's Eye.
Kid in class immediately shot up. Is it true that cavemen invented fire? The teacher nodded. We should all appreciate it. Kevin cackled and rubbed his hands together like an evil fly, and none of us were prepared for what he had up his sleeve. The next afternoon, we were back in the same seats when dark smoke filled the hallways.
Oh, nah. What did bro do? What did bro plan on doing? What is happening? What did bro do? Shout out to Five Alex.
Crackled. Fire in the building. All students evacuate immediately. This is not a drill. The fire alarm screamed.
Oh,
and
nah.
Kevin smiled at the ceiling.
That's
and
your
rubbed his hands
fave girl.
together. As we walked out, I turned to him. Bro, did you cause this? He nodded like I was the dumbest kid in the school. Duh. You heard teach. Fire's the most important thing that ever happened. I'm showing her I appreciate it. And
bro, what? So he just revealed it straight on.
Then she'll
That's the dumbest thing to do. What's up, Carol? Guys, like up the stream and subscribe if you want a shout out, and feel free to send gifts like laughing
finally
discos.
let me pass her class. A girl up front shrieked, "You could
If
have
you
killed
want.
all of us." But before Kevin could respond, sprinklers went off over our heads, and I just hoped
Oh,
the principal
nah.
would expel him so Kevin could never hurt us again.
This is
But when
not a water park, chat. What are we
we
doing?
made
What
it
is
to the front
happening?
lawn,
Shout out to
and I
Water
explained to the
Waves.
principal what Kevin did, he walked past Kevin and stormed right over to the teacher. "How could you be so reckless? You stood in front of a boy who is stupid enough to eat glue for lunch and told him to appreciate fire."
Shout out
He
to
straightened his
Lola.
tie. "We're not pressing charges," Kevin cheered. "Does that mean I passed the class?" The principal
No,
sighed.
that's
"Yes,
a
Kevin.
mark."
Yes, it does. When my
What?
history teacher I was on a public bus with my daughter when a man in a black ski mask
Oh, hell nah. Chat. Oh, hell nah. It's like a robber, I think, bro. Because who would wear a ski mask and
stood up,
a bus?
pointed a gun at all of us, and screamed, "Everybody put your phones
Oh,
in the
nah.
bag, now!" I yanked my daughter against my chest, ready to do anything to keep her safe. But my teenage daughter clutched her phone in its bulky pink case to her chest, shaking her head. "I can't live without my phone, Dad. I'm not giving it
Thank you all for subbing.
to him." My heart stopped. I grabbed her arm and begged, "Your life is worth more than a phone. You have to give it to him." But I knew how
Shout out to
stubborn
Carissa.
she was, and I was terrified she'd get herself killed. The robber stormed down the aisle, shoving his bag in each row, and phones dropped in one by
Bro's getting free iPhones for $0.
one. But a man near the front
Oh,
clutched
nah.
his phone and shook his head. "No, bruh. My whole life's on this thing." The robber grabbed
Okay, he's actually cooked then. Shout out to
his
Madison.
collar, but the man swung back, and they slammed into
Damn.
the seats, the gun swinging
Shout out to
wildly as they
Dexter.
grappled. "You're going to get us all killed!" someone screamed from the back. Then a shot cracked through the bus, the bullet punching a hole through the
Oh, nah.
roof, and everyone ducked. I threw
Guys, feel free to send gifts like laughing discos if you want.
myself over my daughter, shielding her with
If
my
you want me
body,
to
but
say your name and say W's for you, then feel free.
underneath me, I felt her hands moving frantically over her phone like she was protecting it, and my heart sank because I knew she was still refusing
Stream,
to
by
give
the
it
way,
up.
thank you.
"Please," I begged into her ear. "Just hand it over. I can't lose you." Then sirens wailed in the distance, and the robber's head snapped toward the window. His grip on the gun tightened.
They were to
as he gripped
6-7,
the
Sarah.
fighting man's phone away and stormed toward us. The gun swung toward my daughter. "Phone in the bag, now." I was bracing for the worst, but my daughter slowly lifted her bright pink phone and dropped it into his bag. Relief crashed over me as the sirens screamed closer.
You were the
and
hiding
robber
of
bolted for the
Tristan.
door, but he didn't make it 3 steps before cops tackled him to the pavement.
Damn.
But then my daughter grabbed my arm. "Dad, look." She opened her palm, and there sat her phone, glowing out of its bright pink case. I gave him
That phone is so small.
the empty pink
Holy, shout out to Bob.
case, Dad. I've been
They were to 6-7, Sarah. W Sarah with the 6-7.
texting 911 while you were shielding me. My jaw dropped, because the phone she swore she couldn't live without was the only reason any of us were still breathing. I was on
W. Shout out to Yellow Fang, silly.
I asked my dad, "What are you getting me for my 18th birthday?" And he smiled.
Damn, 18? Not gonna lie, bro's an unk.
That day's still far away, so I forgot all about it. But on my 18th birthday, I suddenly fainted. My
Oh,
dad
no.
rushed me to the
They were the
hospital
hiding gift,
where the doctor
Zamos.
said,
They were the jamming gift. First jamming gift of the stream. W Mr. Cake Alien. Thank you, Mr. Cake Alien, for the jamming gift. You're the goat, bro.
"Your child has a hole in his heart." Dad broke
Oh,
down
nah.
crying,
What? They were the W,
and I
Tristan.
was sure I was going to die. But an hour later, he came into
How is bro still alive?
my room saying, "It's a miracle, son. The doctors have a
Star.
donor ready." So they wheeled me into surgery. When I woke up, there was a letter on my bed from my dad. But as I read it, I started crying. "Son, if you're reading this, it means everything went well. Remember when you asked what I was getting you for your 18th birthday? Back then, I didn't know what to say. Now you know. I gave you my heart."
What? Yo. That's insane. That's actually
I
insane,
asked my
chat.
dad. I was on a public bus with
I already watched.
I stood in the middle of my all-you-can-eat restaurant and felt like crying.
All you can eat, bro? Oh, hell
I'd
nah.
spent my life savings and trained for 5
You were a
years
star.
in culinary school, but 7 days in my dining hall was empty. The Kung Pao chicken I'd spent years perfecting sat untouched, and I dropped to my knees. But then, a 300-pound man
Dang! That guy's gonna eat everything, bro. He's gonna give all the money, chat.
walked in, He grabbed one of
They
everything.
were trying to get Vanna.
And my face lit up because I finally had a real customer. But then I looked closer and instantly got ready to fight him. He was adding his own herbs and spices to my food. I instantly stormed over
Bro, what the hell?
and asked why he was
That's a
changing my kung
sukuna.
pao, but he stared at me like it was obvious. Because your original recipe tastes like dog shit left to bake in the
Oh,
sun,
nah.
but with a few tweaks of my own, it's delicious. My jaw dropped and I went to escort him out, but he shoved a spoon of my own dish into my mouth before I could say a word. I nearly gagged,
Eat it.
and my hands shook in horror because I realized the recipe I'd worked on for so long was actually a crime against taste buds. Now try mine. He shoved a second spoon in my mouth.
They were hiding it, Jerry.
And my eyes glowed like in that one Ratatouille scene. This is
Oh,
incredible.
nah.
I know. He walked to
Bro,
the
it's
entrance
not
door,
Gordon
flipping
Ramsay.
the sign around to close.
Shout out to Mini Titan.
We're turning this restaurant around. For the next 5 hours, I watched him refry my wings, re-season my fish, cross entire items off
Shout out
the
to
menu,
J-Man
and call the
Curly,
recipes I'd spent 2 years on prison food. When he was done, I asked him if he was a chef, but he just twirled his fork. Nah, I'm just a fat guy who loves food. The
Oh, hell nah. Imagine the food tastes bad after.
next morning, I opened the
It's
restaurant,
actually
and
over.
at lunch, I watched my second ever customer take a bite of the kung pao. He nearly fell out of his chair
That's
and
Aiden.
immediately went back for more. That evening, my restaurant
Oh, I guess the fat guy actually helped out. But guys, subscribe if you want a shout out, and feel free to send gifts like Laughing Discuss.
was full, and Joe stood in my kitchen, eating the kung pao chicken, now as my head chef and co-owner of the restaurant. He saved my business, so giving him half was the least I could do. I stood in
W. Shout out to Sigma. W. Fat guy, bro. Shout out to Y Sibel. Shout out to Karina. Shout out to Gummy. They were the Laughing Disco. Jerry. W. Jerry with the Laughing Disco. Thank you, Jerry. W. Jerry, bro. Thank you, Jerry. First Laughing Disco of the stream. W. Jerry.
defending a robbery case
Thank
in
you,
court
bro.
when I stood up and said, "Your Honor, my client is definitely guilty." The courtroom erupted in
What? Okay. Why would you be a lawyer if...
laughter. Someone yelled, "What is this lawyer saying?" And my client's head snapped towards me. I was sweating buckets because there was only one explanation. That morning, my stupid son had blown out his birthday candles and wished for just one thing. My dad can't lie for the whole day. And
Oh, nah. He can't lie for the whole day, that's why. They were the jamming gift and the laughing disco. W. Jabria and the Insane Yeeps. W's in the chat for the Insane Yeeps and Jabria. And Jerry with the laughing disco too. W. Jerry too with the laughing disco. Thank you, bro. They were 6'7", Danielle.
And now, because of that
W.
stupid wish, I was going to lose this case and end up jobless unless I somehow saved my reputation.
We're adding a
The
new
judge
channel.
leaned forward. "Counselor, would you like to rephrase
We're the
that?"
star.
I opened my mouth to fix it, but what came out was, "No, Your Honor, he did all of it." My client yanked my sleeve and whispered, "Fix this, or else." My jaw clenched harder and harder every second.
He can't break the wish, bro. He cannot. They were the gold coin tide. They were floating heart new channel, yo boy. They were the laughing disco. The Insane Yeeps. W the Insane Yeeps. With the laughing disco. And 261. Sorry if I said your name wrong. W261 with the laughing disco too. Thank you both. They were the flower pancake. They were the laughing disco, the Insane Yeeps. W the Insane Yeeps. Thank you, the Insane
But
Yeeps.
then I got a brilliant idea. I call my own client to the stand. He walked up
Thank you.
smiling because we'd planned to feed him easy questions. So I looked him in the eye and asked the first question. "Where were you that night?" He leaned into
They
the
were the
mic,
flower
all relaxed.
261.
At home, sleeping, like I told the cops. But my mouth suddenly interrupted. "No, you weren't. You told me you were at the jewelry store where the robbery took place."
Oh, hell nah. Bro is his lawyer, and he's literally messing up. Think we're the laughing disco, Jerry. W. Jerry with the laughing disco. And think we're the high five, the Insane Eeps. W. the Insane Eeps and Jerry.
What is goo? I just found your stream. I
Yo!
love it.
Think we're the $5 Tragic Will. Thank you, bro, for loving the stream. W. Tragic Will with the $5. Thank you, Tragic Will. And think of the jamming gift, Critty Cat. W. Critty Cat. Thank you all.
The courtroom laughed again, and he gripped the stand. "Whose side are you on? Yours."
Thank
That's
you.
the sad part. I clamped both hands over my mouth, and tears fell through my eyes. I leaned in for my last
That's a
question.
bet.
"You cracked
Thank
that
you,
vault
guys.
in 4 minutes all by yourself, right?" That's when my client shocked everyone and shot
Oh,
up so
nah.
fast his chair flipped. 4? No, that's wrong. 3 minutes. I cracked the vault in 3 minutes. Put some respect on my name. The whole courtroom froze.
They were the
and
floating
even the
heart,
judge's mouth fell
261.
open.
They were the hiding gift, Nibs VR.
My client slapped a hand over his own mouth. That's when it hit me. My My son's wish had somehow rubbed off on him. The officers grabbed
You were
him, and as
6'7".
they dragged him out, he yelled, "It was a Class 4 vault. Put that in the record." The doors slammed,
You were
and the
hiding
judge
his
slowly
Masons.
took off his glasses and looked right at me. In 30
Bro actually just revealed what he did.
years, I've never known anyone pull the truth out of a man like that. You're the best lawyer I've ever seen. The gallery broke into applause, and the prosecutor slid me his card. Call me if you need a job. I stood
They were
there
6'7", Jerry.
grinning because my
We're
son's
hiding it,
wish had both
Alex.
destroyed and saved my reputation. I was stuffing my trash bag into the chute
Dive
when
in.
my fat landlord appeared out of nowhere. All garbage must be triple bagged. You will be fined $400 per bag. I crossed my arms because we both knew
What?
that was BS, and I knew exactly why he was targeting me. You've been writing me up every week since my
W.
girlfriend
Jerry
Amelia
with the
moved in,
6'7".
and she tells me you check her out all the time. You're being petty and jealous, so I'm not paying a dime. He clicked his pen.
Oh,
We're
nah.
up to a $500 fine.
Who is this guy, bro? They were the gold coin nibs. They were the clutch, Jerry. Yo, Legend GT, quick question. Would you rather I post traveling vids or cruise vids? Probably traveling vids. It's more cool.
Arguing with management is a violation. I laughed because I wasn't about to let myself
They were
be
6'7"
intimidated by a man
Masons.
built like Danny DeVito. But he
They were the
turned
hiding
red,
gift,
slammed the
Antonio.
trash room door open, and pointed at my apartment door. That's an unapproved doormat. $200 fine. The
You were the gold
$1,400
coin,
payment
Alex.
is due next week. I locked eyes with him and started throwing the trash bags down the chute. Oops, forgot to triple bag them. Oh.
Beans.
Well, he snapped the pad shut and stomped his foot on the floor. You know what? Amelia doesn't deserve you. I took out my phone. Oh, really? I had no idea.
Oh, nah. Thank you for the 100 gold coins. W Nibs VR. Thank you, Nibs. And thank you for the Sunday, Jerry, and the 6'7" Cassie. W Nibs. And Jerry and Cassie. Thank you so much, Nibs, though. Thank you, Nibs.
I'll let her know right now.
Thank you,
I
bro.
called her to
W
come to the
Nibs.
trash room, and as soon as she walked in, the fat man
You were the
started
gold coin
sweating
diddle
nervously.
pop.
Greetings, Miss Amelia.
We're the
Her
hiding
hand
of Josiah.
interlocked with mine. What's going on, babe?
They
I
were
spoke
6'7" Brandy.
nonchalantly. The landlord is fining us $1,900 for not triple bagging our garbage bags and for having an
Thank you,
unregistered
Nibs.
doormat. He thinks you're not good enough for me. What do you think, babe? The fat man tugged at his collar, and Amelia tilted her head. Wait, I know you. You're the guy who takes the treadmill next to mine when the whole gym is empty. I see you everywhere. I told you to leave me alone. She jabbed a finger
Oh,
at
nah.
me. You're a creep. The Oompa Loompa looked so
They were the
angry I
clutch,
thought smoke was
Josiah.
going to come out of his ears. Everything doubles. $3,800 fine. Amelia's eyes filled with tears.
$3,000 fine. They were the W,
We
JB.
can't afford that. For the first time all day, I stopped finding the situation funny. But he smiled at her, crying. Should have thought about that before you rejected me. Amelia wiped her face
What?
and walked at him with her fists clenched. He backpedaled and tripped on a piece of trash. And as he stumbled backwards, I reached past his shoulder and pulled the flap open. He caught the frame and his chubby legs kicked over the drop.
Bros,
And as he
what
fell,
the hell?
I leaned into the shaft. Should have triple back.
What the hell?
Yourself.
Where did bro go?
That's a $400 fine. I guess we're even. I slammed the flap
Where
shut
did
like I
bro
was
go? What the hell? What? They were the flower 261. They were the $5 Tragic Will. Also, guys, subscribe to this YouTuber. He's goated. Thank you, Tragic Will. W Tragic Will with the $5.
Aslo
Thank
guys
you, bro.
subscribe to this YouTuber. He is goated.
Yes. They were the hiding of Jerry and Too Sick. They were the gold coin. They were the happy poop. Jerry, they were the hiding of the
closing
Marissa.
his file.
Thank you
As we
for the
walked out,
$5
I
though,
was already looking for a new
Tragic.
place to live. Worth it. I was stuffing my trash bag into the... I was sitting alone in class when I noticed the hamster cage was hanging wide open. The weird
Oh,
kid
nah.
Dex had taken Peanut out of her...
Bro took the hamster. Yo, get your hands off the hamster, bro. They were the jamming gift, Gage. W Gage with the jamming gift. Thank you, Gage. W. You were the hiding gift,
cage and was
Scarfly.
squeezing her in his fist. He grinned at me. You're the hamster monitor for today, right? It's your job to keep this thing safe. I nodded at him. Then he said it out loud, so there'd be no confusion. Class policy says whoever loses her walks the whole school in their underwear.
What?
I get
What? You want $540? I mean, that would be insane. If you want, go ahead. You don't have to, though. They were the hiding gift, Kane.
asked because he was right. I needed to get Peanut back into her cage before the rest of the class returned from lunch, or I'd be stuck in my underwear while everyone laughed at me. I told him to put her back, but he stepped up on a desk where I
Yo.
couldn't reach. I lunged
Get off the hamster.
anyway, and he swung her out over the aisle. Her legs dangled in the air, and she screamed for
Bro.
help. So I stopped grabbing and started begging. Dex, please let her down. Peanut is pregnant with 3 little
What? Oh, hell
hamster
nah.
babies. But his smirk just got even bigger. He held the hamster over his open mouth. I wonder how a hamster tastes. I froze
Bro, what?
and thought Peanut's fate was to be eaten by this gremlin. But that's when the door swung wide open. Lunch had ended, and Every student had returned, only to see Dex holding the class hamster over his open mouth. The teacher screamed, "Dex, what are you doing?" And it was so loud that Dex accidentally dropped the hamster. Peanut flipped in the air and landed right
Oh,
inside
nah, somebody needs to catch him.
Dex's open mouth.
Oh, hell no.
Everyone's jaw dropped, and I screamed, "No!" Dex started choking hard. His foot slid off the
Bro
desk,
actually ate the hamster.
but as he hit the floor, Peanut popped out
Oh,
of his mouth
what
like
the
a
hell?
vending machine. I dove forward and caught her in both hands, soaked but kicking and alive. I carefully set her back in the nest and clicked the latch, safe and sound. But then she curled up and clenched her stomach. Wait, Peanut is giving birth. The whole class
Oh, hell no.
competed over Dex to crowd the glass and watched Peanut pump out 3 cute babies.
Bro, what the hell? Who would what?
The next day, Dex walked in his underwear while everyone laughed and took
What?
pictures. I was sitting alone in class when I noticed the
That's
hamster
kind of sus. They were the $2,
$2
Tragic Will. Thank you, Tragic Will, for the $2. W, Tragic Will. W. Hold on. Guys, like up the stream. I gotta really scroll down because I really watched a lot of these shorts already. I gotta scroll down a lot. Damn. Alright, right here.
Me and my girlfriend. I waited by the window for my cat Honey. Day 1 of basic training. Our drill sergeant stormed over to us
Give her 6-7
and
brandy.
yelled, "If one of you fails this 2-mile run, then all of you will be running all day tomorrow." I was
Oh, nah.
so anxious that I had to gulp down the lump in my throat because I was the weakest one here, and
We're
the last
hiding
thing
it,
I
Purple
wanted was
Rock.
to drag down my comrades. I looked around, and it was clear that we were all scared of what would happen next. The drill sergeant
Obviously.
waited for a second and
You were
blew his
hiding it for
whistle,
Elijah.
starting the run. I pushed myself hard, but by the 4th lap, I was the last one left on the track, and there were only 30 seconds.
You gotta lock in, bro. He has to lock in. Shout out to the one who's spilt Pepsi. Guys, if you subscribe if you want a shout out and like the stream.
Left. I was struggling to breathe and sweat dripped down my forehead.
With
My
the
vision
gold
was
coin.
blurry. I thought I was going to collapse, but suddenly I
You were a
felt
star.
hands on me, lifting me up and carrying me. My head fell to the side and I opened my eyes to find us crossing the finish line. A guy I'd never seen
You were the
before
gold
had
coin,
carried
Adam.
me across the line. They set me down gently, just as the drill sergeant walked up to us. He frowned and glanced around at us.
You were
before his
hiding
eyes
it,
landed on
Adriano.
me. He glanced at his watch. "I guess you
Shout
all
out to
made
Bunny
it,"
Lover.
I sighed, and was immediately
You were
filled
the gold
with guilt.
coin.
"We cheated," I said, breathing fast.
You were the
Someone helped me past
17
the finish
stars,
line by
Elijah.
carrying me. For a scary moment, the drill sergeant said nothing as
It
he
was the
stared
gold
at
coin
us.
dollars.
Then he suddenly smiled and clapped his hands together. "That is exactly what I wanted," he said proudly. "You learned to work together. As a team, you all passed the first test with flying colors.
W. They survived, bro.
Welcome to the army."
Shout out to
Day 1 of
Antonio. That's W.
My uncle had spent 20 years hunting Bigfoot, and the first a
Wait.
new kid raised his hand in geography. Time zones are a government conspiracy to control when we sleep.
Time zones? What do you mean? What the hell time zones? What do you mean? They were hiding it, Ben.
Incorrect. The Earth rotates and Brody cut her off. No, the sun moves above US like a spotlight. Look it up. But when she pulled up satellite images, he just waved his hand.
You're
All
not
edited.
gonna
NASA
give
admits they
ink.
composite their photos. Do your own research. A
They
few
were
kids
the 4 stars, Ben. W, Ben.
laughed, but his
Thank
crush
you, Ben.
Nola whispered, "He's actually kind of brave for saying what he thinks." Brody's whole face changed when he heard that. Mrs. Kowalski stopped arguing. "All right, Brody. Friday, you present your evidence to this class. Every source, every
Why isn't bro's name Brody?
slide. Show us
We're hiding
everything
a
you've
cool
got." Brody
ranch.
looked straight at Nola. Finally, someone willing to hear the truth. When Friday came, Brody walked to the front like he was about to change the world. He pulled up his first slide, a blurry screenshot from a YouTube channel, and tapped
What
the
the
screen.
hell, bro?
This physicist right here. He has degrees from
Okay, who's gonna believe him?
MIT, and he exposed gravity as a lie. The Earth is accelerating upward. That's the real reason we stick to the ground. A kid in the front row
What?
burst out laughing. Brody held up a finger. "Laugh now. You won't be laughing when you see the rest." Next slide was a photo
You
of
were
the
the
ocean.
star.
He spread his arms wide. Exhibit B. If the Earth was a ball, you'd see the bend from any beach. Ask yourself why nobody ever has. Third slide was a physics equation with half of it crossed out. This proves the Earth cannot be a sphere. I didn't make this up.
What?
It's basic math. No.
What is this guy on
Nola
about?
put her head on her desk. Brody pointed at her. That right there is the reaction of someone whose eyes are being opened. Any
Okay, bro, what?
questions? Mrs. Kowalski stood up for the first time since the presentation started. "Brody, that MIT physicist from your first slide. Pull the full video up." Brody grinned and clicked back to slide 1. "You want to see more?" "Happy to." She
I made my school
I'm sorry, bro.
hire an
They were
exorcist with a
star.
Bluetooth speaker
My teacher slammed a paper down on my desk. Book report. This is due in a week. Make sure you all
Oh,
read every
nah.
page. She glared
Yeah,
at me.
so lock in, chat. Shout out to
Knowing
Matt.
I'd do anything to get out of reading. She leaned down. Remember, if you don't pass, I'm holding you back a year. I
You're
just
hiding
nodded
if Blue
and went
Man.
home and played Fortnite the whole night, saying
Bruh.
I'd start tomorrow. But as I kept getting wins every day after school, I finally checked the due date. Tomorrow. I completely panicked, shutting off my console.
He has
If
to
I
lock
failed,
in.
I'd
He
get
has to
held
be
back.
quick.
My parents would kill me. I was pacing around my room, completely panicking on what to
Okay,
do.
why would you do that? Just do
I
the work.
immediately looked up the book and breathed a huge
It's
sigh
in
of
Virginia.
relief when I saw there was a movie. I watched it twice just to be sure and made up an entire presentation with ChatGPT.
Oh, nah. ChatGPT, bro.
I had to stay
You're
up the
hiding in
entire
Dallas.
night, and when I walked into class the next day shaking, I could tell she was suspicious. She called my name, and I walked up to the front of the class. I read off my AI-generated
Shut the Kawhi low.
notes, and I could see her looking more and more suspicious of me. I was standing there sweating. She definitely knew I watched the movie, but it was
Oh,
almost
nah.
over. Any questions? Nobody raised their hands, and I was relieved. But then our teacher raised hers. My heart stopped beating. Yes, I was wondering if you could tell us what the difference was between the book and the movie.
Oh, it's over. It's actually over.
My heart completely
Madison,
stopped.
Madison.
Time slowed down. I knew it was over. My mouth opened, but nothing came out. But then, it hit me. I'm sorry, miss. I never saw the movie. She just sat there shocked as I sat back down. My teacher, Derek, bought $500
It was
AI
GG's.
glasses and immediately trusted them more than God. We were supposed to be driving to brunch, 12 minutes away. One left turn, one highway
What kind of neighborhood are they
exit,
in?
and a parking lot with bottomless mimosas. I had the route open on my phone before
Guys, feel free to send gifts,
he
though.
even
Like
backed out
Laugh
of the
from
driveway.
Discos, if you
Derek,
want.
use Google
It
Maps.
helps out.
He tapped the side of the frames. These have military-grade
Shout out to
navigation.
Shane
You bought them
Toys.
from a podcast ad. In the reflection of his lens, I could see the route glowing blue across his right eye. It pointed us toward the highway. That part seemed fine. It stopped being fine when the glasses told him to exit before the highway and cut through a neighborhood.
What is the AI telling him, bro?
Then a gravel
What?
path behind a rec center that I am almost positive was for joggers. Must be a shortcut, he beamed. A woman walking a dog jumped sideways into the grass as we rolled past at 7
What the hell,
miles
bro?
an hour. The path dumped us into a public park with a fountain, pavilion, children, one man eating a sandwich on a bench who didn't even bother to look up. Derek, there are children. It's
They were hiding
recalculating.
if
The
Kara.
glasses were not recalculated.
Yo, the AI is
They were
not
politely telling him to
doing
continue
well.
straight through a family reunion. We bumped over a curb back onto
Oh,
an actual
nah.
road, and Derek turned to me with both hands loose on the wheel. See? Military grade. I had my hand on the door handle. Then the glasses chimed. Turn right in 200 feet. There was no road to the right. There was a boat ramp. I said, Derek,
Bruh.
what are you doing? He slowed down, squinted through the
Are we
glasses,
serious?
and said, it might be a service road. For boats? The glasses chimed again. Continue to
You were the star Cree cat.
destination. Derek whispered, trust the glasses. The front tires rolled over the wet concrete. The hood dipped. The engine made a sound like a blender full of coins. And
Oh,
the car
nah.
slid nose first
The AI is telling him the wrong things, bro.
into the lake. For 1 second, neither of us moved. Then the glasses chimed. You have arrived at your destination. Derek took them off slowly, looked at the glasses, looked at the lake, looked at me. I said, how
Where is bro?
A soggy receipt floated up from the cup holder. $500.
What the hell?
Derek
You
watched
were
it
hiding
drift
if
past the
Sage
dashboard and
plays.
said, I think I can still return them. The glasses chimed one last time. Route saved. Derek, I'm an ER doctor, and I watched a woman rush in with a little boy, his head badly injured.
Oh my
She
god.
said he was her nephew and was running outside when he fell, so I immediately took him back to get care. But as soon as I finished stitching him up, I asked her how this happened. This time, however, she told me he was running through their house when he fell and hit his head on a table. I immediately felt suspicious
You should turn on slow mode. Nah, it's fine.
because she said he was outside last time. I told her to go wait outside, and when the boy woke up, I asked him what happened. And when he told me, I could feel the rage building up inside me.
Oh,
I immediately
nah.
stormed back out to the woman
Is the mom lying?
and couldn't hold back.
You
I
were sorry.
immediately yelled at her, asking how she could do that to a child. She started trying
You were the
to
6'7" C-Town.
lie, saying she didn't know what I meant. But just then, his parents burst in. What's going on?
Oh,
Your child
nah.
spilled
It's not even the mom.
juice on her purse, and she was
Shout out
so
to Evan's Fun World.
mad she hit him over the head with it. He has a concussion. She tried to deny it, but when we saw her purse, we could still see the red.
It's
she started
over.
backing up, but it was too late. I'm an ER doctor, and
It's
I watched a
over,
woman
chat.
ru-
It's actually
I
over.
couldn't stop smiling when the librarian laughed at my 4-year-old. My son taught himself to read before he turned 4. He would sit in bed every night sounding out words
W.
in his picture books until he didn't need the pictures anymore. I told him about a book called 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Well, that was 20.
The
Bro.
captain who sailed a submarine to the bottom of the ocean. He wouldn't stop asking about it. So we went to the library and he ran straight to the shelves. He found it, carried it with both hands to the front counter, and
I'm gonna be honest. Who reads books, chat? Type 1 if you read books. Type 2 if you don't. Like, genuinely, nobody reads books, bro. It's so boring. Like, bro, come on. Who's gonna read a book?
set it down like it was treasure. The librarian took one look at the book and started laughing. She reached behind the counter and pulled out a little paper sign. Advanced books require a reading test. She placed it right in front of my son. Another parent leaned over to me and whispered, "She's been making kids take that test all week. Most of them leave crying." My son looked up
Bruh, he has to lock
at
in.
me. I nodded. He looked at the librarian and said, "I'll take it." Her smile dropped.
1, 1, 2, 2. Dang, who's saying 1? You're lying. Wings of Fire's the best book. I read that thing, but
She opened the book
it's
to a
kinda
random
boring.
page and slid it across the counter. My son picked it up, held it with
Shout
both
out to
hands,
Cool
and
Guy.
started reading out loud. Every word. The whole library went quiet. She didn't say a word. She just stood there. I reached over the counter, took the book out of her hands, and put it right in my son's. On my way out, I looked back at her
What? Bro, what?
and flicked her off.
Okay, why would you do that though? It's just like a test, bro. It's not that serious.
Finished all 528
What?
pages in 2 weeks.
That's a bunny
I
lover.
couldn't stop. My coworker Brian walked into the break room laughing at his phone. "Just found my daughter's Finsta. Kids think we're so stupid." I froze. Her what? Fake Instagram, where they post
Fake
real
Instagram.
stuff. My daughter is
Oh, nah.
17, straight A's, always home by curfew. But that
W. Okay, chat. Everybody, like up the stream and subscribe if you want shout out. I'm just reminding you guys. And feel free to send gifts like laughing discos if you want to. And if you do, I'll say your name and say W's for you.
night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I made a fake account and searched for her nickname. There it was, a private account, thousands of followers. The profile picture was of her giving the middle finger. The bio said
Oh,
something
nah.
about posting her real life. I clicked
What do you mean by that? They were hiding a blue monkey. They were laughing disco. Sawang. W Sawang with the laughing disco. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but W Sawang. Thank you, bro. W Sawang. Thank you so much,
the
dude.
request to follow button. What
You're a
was I
star.
about to find?
We love you,
She accepted it an
Tekka. We love you, Tekka.
hour later. The first posts seemed harmless. Group photos, peace signs.
Thank
Then
you
I
for the
kept
star.
scrolling. I see posts of screenshots from a dating app.
Oh, nah. They were live with this go, Guy Daniels. W Guy Daniels. And thank you for the $2, Liam. Yes, guys. Subscribe. They were W Guy Daniels and Liam. Thank you both. W. They were the flower money. The happy poop, Josh. W, Liam, and Guy Daniels. Thank you both.
Rating shirtless guys out of 10. The caption read, "This one's a 6, but has a boat, so maybe an 8. My daughter, who
nah.
told me boys were gross." In another post,
Shout out to
she
Wendy.
posted her Halloween costume. It was black lingerie with cat ears. Caption, "Can't wait for the frat party at State." The
What the
same
hell?
weekend, she told me she was trick-or-treating with her friend's little sister and wore the
Oh,
same cat
nah.
ears
They
with
were the
bad
hiding
makeup
of
when
money.
she left the door. Then things got darker. Posts from parties I didn't know existed. Her eyes glazed red. Different guys holding her in every photo. A video of her and her friends in a car. Smoke everywhere.
The hell, bro?
Eyes red. My daughter, who made me
They were
quit
star,
cigarettes because
Josh.
she was worried about my health. The most recent post was from 2 hours ago. A mirror selfie, clearly drunk. Alex throws the best parties. She told me she was sleeping over at Patty's house.
Oh, hell nah. Bro, what is going on? They were the uncler, Natasha. W Natasha with the uncler. First uncler of the stream. W Natasha. Shout out to Dylan Blocks. Thank you so much, Natasha. W.
And I knew Alex.
With the
He lived
family
5 houses
floors.
down.
W
I grabbed
Natasha.
my keys and headed out the door. I never drove so fast
Thank
in
you,
my life.
dude.
Alex's house was lit up like a stadium. I didn't
Shout
knock.
out to Bunny
I pushed
Lover.
through the front, and kids scrambled out of my way. Someone's dad
the hiding
is here.
of
I found
Jaden.
her in the living room, standing on the coffee table. Red
Oh,
cup
hell
raised
nah.
high. She was wearing the cat ear outfit from Halloween. She was mid-spin when our eyes met. The cup fell. I held up my phone, her Finsta glowing. 8,000 followers know my daughter better than I do. As I dragged her out, she looked at me and said, "Mom
Shout out to Aiden.
follows my Finsta." My
What? Bro, what the hell, bro? Child, what is happening?
Katie's lunch tray hit the cafeteria floor loud enough to stop every table around.
What the hell is he eating? Was that like a taco? Thank you for the jamming gift. W Devica. Thank you, Devica, for the jamming gift. W Devica, bro. Give it to GG Elliot. W Devika with the jamming
Milk
gift.
splashed across the tile. Fries slid
Thank
under
you.
a chair, and she sat frozen in her wheelchair while Bryson laughed. One sneaker in the mashed potatoes. I stepped between them. Pick it up. Bryson nodded at her chair. What? She can't roll over and get it? His table laughed.
That's a
Katie
Jose.
looked down at the milk under her wheels. I got in his face. You think it's cool to make fun of kids who can't walk? Then I pointed at the track. Race me after school. 3 laps. Loser crawls the last stretch. Bryson
Thank you
grinned.
for the
Fine.
100.
By last bell, the school lined the track. Katie was parked near the finish, and Bryson bounced in brand new shoes like it was over.
Okay, what kind of shoes are those, bro? Honestly. Yo! Thank you for the laughing disco! Elliot plays Roblox! Thank you for the high five, Devika! And thank you for the Sunday Hunter! W Hunter! Devika! And Elliot plays Roblox! Thank you all! W's. Thank you for the high gift brand.
My brother shoved his old championship shoes into my hands, soles peeling, laces mismatched. They won me state, he said.
What the hell are those shoes?
They'll help you too. Bryson's friends laughed before I had them tied. The whistle
Thank you for the high five, Matthias! W Matthias! Thank you for the gold coin, Purple Rock. W Matthias!
blew, and Bryson shot ahead. By the first turn,
Thank you,
he had 10
Matthias.
steps on me. By the second, 12. He looked back, grinning, and pointed at the ground like he saw me crawling. On
We're
lap
hiding
2,
of
my
Chula.
lungs burned, and Bryson was still ahead, but his shoulders were tight. His clean shoes slapped fast and perfect. My brother's old ones hit ugly and uneven, but every turn pulled
Shout
me
out to
closer.
Pam
At the final
more.
lap, Bryson looked back again. This time, he wasn't smiling. 20 yards left. I was still behind him. 10 yards. I was at his shoulder. Katie's wheels were
You
just
were
past
hiding
the
if
finish,
Kim
and
come
Bryson
out.
saw her watching. He tried to cut in front of me. His shoe caught the ground. His ankle rolled sideways, and he hit the
Oh,
track
nah.
hard enough for the crowd to go silent. I crossed the line and turned around. Bryson tried to stand, but his ankle gave out, and he fell face
He's
first on the
cooked.
track.
It's
he looked
over.
at the line, then at the stretch between him and Katie. Loser
They were the
crawls
flower
last stretch.
birds.
So he crawled, palms scraping, knees dragging.
They were the
one
GG
perfect shoe
Eva
hanging half
and
off while the school
Matthias.
watched. He reached the line on his hands and knees, right in front of Katie's wheels. Katie looked down at him and said, "You okay? Need a
The
wheelchair?"
GG
Katie's
Chula.
lunch tray hit the cafeteria floor loud enough to stop every table around us.
Alright. They were to let him cook bottle 6. W bottle 6. They were to let this go AC fan. They were to let this go XO9. They were the gold coin Matthias. WXO9 AC fan and bottle with the freaking let him cook gift. W bottle. Thank you so much bottle for the let him cook and WAC fan and XO9 with the laughing discos. And they were to laughing disco again AC fan. WAC fan. Thank you, AC fan. Thank you, bro. They were flower.
Milk. My roommate stole my food for 6 months.
They were the
so I
gold coin
finally
Eva.
cooked
They were 6'7" Natasha.
him the meal he deserved. I dropped another ghost pepper into the bowl.
We already
My
watched that.
girlfriend coughed on my immunocompromised baby brother as a
Oh,
prank.
hell nah. Why would you do that? Oh my god. Thank you for the high five, Matthias. And thank you for the Live Disco AC fan. W. And thank you for the Sunday. Bottle 6. WAC fan with the Laughing Disco and Matthias and Bottle. Thank you all. They were the jamming gift. Bryce. And thank you for the Laughing Disco AC fan. WAC fan and Bryce. Thank you both.
Susan
W's.
sneezed and asked for tissues because she was sick with the flu.
Thank
and I
you.
instantly jumped up and got mad at her because I'd told her a million times that being
W's.
sick around my brother could potentially kill him. I told her to go home right now, and she was angry, but reluctantly agreed. However, on her way out,
That's a
she
Mary.
quickly dipped into the kitchen to grab her keys. Yet when I turned the corner, she was leaning over my brother's crib with a sick smile. She'd pulled pranks on me our entire
They were
relationship.
star.
but
They
this
were the
was a line
GG
she never
Easy
crossed.
cookie
My jaw
wizard.
dropped, but before I could react, she bent down and did 3 aggressive coughs right in his face. She started laughing, but my brother's breathing instantly
They were
changed.
6'7"
He
Tara.
began
Okay, what the hell is happening?
turning purple, and his monitors spiked
You were
out of
hiding it
control.
from the gold
Susan
coin.
was hysterical. "It's just a prank. He'll be fine." But then my mom came running in and saw what happened. She walked over and raised her hand and slapped Susan while she was still laughing.
Damn.
Susan hit the floor face first, but I didn't care. My
Damn, chat.
brother's chest was caving with every breath, and his monitor showed he had 5 minutes of oxygen left. I dialed 911, but then I heard Susan behind me. She was wheezing and turning blue, repeating, "I can't breathe." I dropped to
You
my
were the
knees,
gold coin
confused
high.
by how this was
Sure.
possible, and looked at my brother and my girlfriend, both going blue. I dialed 911 again, and 2 ambulances showed up. I rushed into the hospital and saw Susan hooked on tubes and monitors around her. The doctors gave me her x-rays and reports. She didn't just have a cold, she had pneumonia, meaning her lungs were already weak, and the impact from the fall completely crushed them. So by coughing on my brother,
Oh my
she put
God.
herself into a potentially permanent coma.
Damn.
I walked into her room and wrote her a note.
She's
"If you
cooked.
wake up, just know we're done." Then my mom walked in and added to the note, "Also, we're suing you for medical bills. You're lucky he's alive." My girlfriend. 6 of us were holding hands around a Ouija
They were
board.
the star.
Kayla's basement when her golden retriever pushed the door open and we all started screaming like we were being murdered.
What? It's just a dog, bro. What?
We'd been down there an hour trying to summon her dead great uncle, taking turns sliding the little pointer across the board, while 2 candles Kayla swiped from her mom's bathroom flickered on the carpet. Kayla kept glancing at the stairs and whispering, "If my
We
mom
were to start Foxtrot.
sees her candles down here, I'm dead." Brandon kept saying we needed to do it right, or the ghost would get mad. So we held hands and chanted the name over and over. An hour in, my foot was asleep and nothing had moved. Megan whispered, "Maybe ghosts aren't real." And that's when the door creaked. Brandon's eyes got huge and he yelled,
You were to
"He's
star."
here. He's actually here." Megan, who 10 seconds ago didn't
Shout out to
believe in ghosts,
FJVR. Guys, like up the stream and subscribe if you want shout out.
shrieked and yanked her hands out of the circle,
Shout out to
knocking
Owen.
a candle straight onto the rug. The corner lit up
Oh
fast.
my God.
I tried to stomp it out, but my foot was still dead asleep, so I went down sideways on top of Jordan, who was already crawling for the stairs screaming for Kayla's mom. The smoke alarm started going off.
Shout out to
Everyone
Carbon.
screamed louder, and Brandon was sobbing. "It's trying to
You were
kill
the
us."
hiding of
I
Josiah.
grabbed a couch cushion and beat the fire out on my knees, and that's when something warm and furry pressed into my back, breathing right behind my ear. I screamed the loudest scream of my entire
were to
life
star.
and threw my elbow back
It's
as
literally a dog, bro. What the hell?
hard
Shout out
as
to
I
Dylan.
could. The dog yelped and snatched the pointer off the board in his teeth, right as Kayla's mom came pounding down the stairs in her robe,
That's a
yelling,
turbo
"What is
freak."
happening down here?" She flipped the lights on, and there was Cooper, the golden retriever, sitting in the middle of the burnt rug with the pointer in his mouth, wagging his tail like he'd won something. Her eyes went from the candles to the rug, to the dog, to the 6 of us pressed against
Shout out to Kleppy Boy.
the wall, and she said, "You guys were scared of Cooper?" Brandon was still hiccuping when he pointed at the board and said, "The pointer flew across the room on its own." I didn't correct him, and neither did anybody else. 6 of us were holding. The cop grabbed my skateboard out of my hands, snapped it in half over his knee,
Oh,
and threw it in
nah.
the trunk like it was a weapon. I was 17, walking home from the gas station with my board under one arm. "You kids think sidewalks are racetracks," he said. "I'm not even riding it." That was all I got out before he screamed, "Stop resisting," and hit me chest first into the pavement.
Guys, like up the stream and subscribe. Shout out to Joseph.
My cheek scraped concrete. His knee dug into my back. He cuffed me so tight my fingers started buzzing. Then he held up a citation and smiled. $30 for riding after dark. He shoved me into the back seat and slammed the door. The cruiser smelled like old coffee and sweat. He kept my skateboard in the trunk
That's a
and
real
kept
Varus.
tapping the steering wheel, singing terrible country music over the radio, drifting over the yellow line like the road belonged to him. Then he pulled into a bar parking lot. I sat up straight. "This isn't the station." He looked at me in the rearview mirror. "I need to investigate something." He locked the doors and went inside. For 2 hours, I sat cuffed in the back seat, watching people come and go under the neon sign. When he finally came out, he stumbled once, caught himself, and opened the driver's door.
What happened to the police, bro? What happened?
The whole car filled with the smell of alcohol. I started yelling before
nah.
he shifted into drive. "Call another officer. You can't drive." He turned the radio up. He rolled through the
What is the
first
police doing? What? They're the GG Easy, Tara.
red light, and he blew straight through the next. I kicked
What?
the partition with both feet, but he just sang louder. Then headlights filled my window. A semi-horn blasted so loud it shook the glass. The cop yelled, jerked
They were the
wheel, and the
100.
whole cruiser folded sideways around the impact. I woke up in the hospital surrounded by beeping machines. I tried to sit up. Nothing moved under the blanket. Not my knees, not my feet. I was paralyzed. They made me pay $30 for riding a skateboard after dark. The
What did bro do? What?
cop paid me $3 million because I never rode one again.
3 million.
My younger brother took off his science goggles and held up a bottle of black liquid. "I've cracked the recipe of Coke." I grabbed it
You were
and
the gold
smirked.
coin,
"You've
Ro
said this
Varus.
100 times, dude. When are you gonna give up?" But when I took a swig, my eyes widened. "Holy shit, this tastes exactly
Shout
like
to
the
Larry.
real thing." He crossed his arms and smirked while I
Wait, chat. Hold on, let me see something. I'm gonna search up the ingredients of Coke recipe. Hold on. They revealed it. What? Chat, they actually literally revealed it. What the hell?
chugged the whole bottle.
It literally says it. Shut the bunny
I looked at the gallon of black liquid in his giant beaker, and I stood up so fast my chair fell backwards. "We need to sell this. We're gonna be rich." We walked into school next morning, and I stood on a table during lunch. "We made our own Coke. It tastes 100% real and costs 50% less."
Shout to
Gilbert
Bunny
pulled out
Lover.
a bottle and tossed it to a kid. He reluctantly took a sip, and his mouth dropped instant. "Wait,
They were
this
the star.
actually tastes like Coke." A line immediately
Guys, feel free to send gifts like laughing discos, and I'll say her name and say W's.
formed. We got home and spread our money. $350. I was
Damn.
already doing the math on a second batch while Gilbert grabbed
Holy.
his goggles. Time to take over the world. But then two men in dark suits knocked on our door. We need your brother to come with us. I gulped and
That's
asked
a
what
nice
they were here
gaming
for,
channel.
but they shoved past me into the house. They grabbed Gilbert in his lab coat
Oh,
and dragged
nah.
him out. I ran
They were the
after them,
6'7",
legs moving
Tara.
as fast as I could, but Gilbert was already in a black car with tinted windows. He put his hands against the glass as they drove off. I stood there,
Goodbye.
frightened and speechless, looking at the empty Gilbert's Coke bottle on the floor. My younger brother took off his...
What happened to bro?
I stepped into the house with my hands up, and the man immediately pointed his gun.
Oh
at me.
wait,
I stood beside a police...
there's a whole story on this. Hold up, we gotta watch this, chat.
I stood beside a police cruiser, staring
You're
through the
6'7",
front window
Ashley.
as a man paced inside with a gun. I was a hostage negotiator, and this was supposed to be another Tuesday, until the officer slipped me a piece of paper. The hostage's name was Richard Carls. My
Richard Carls.
chest
Okay.
went cold, because Richard Carls was my hostage negotiation mentor.
Chat, there's 2 parts of this story. It's gonna
He
be
taught
good.
me everything I know, and was now 82 and retired due to heart problems. He's
You were the 6 stars,
tied to a
Roveras.
chair inside. The officer's face was pale. The attacker specifically requested you, but we don't know why. I picked up the receiver, and the attacker instantly spoke. You finally got here. Do you remember me? His voice sounded familiar, but I didn't know why. Do I remember you? I mirrored him, but he just laughed. Richard taught you that one, didn't he? The snipers on the surrounding rooftops aimed right at him, and my legs
Oh,
buckled as
nah.
I suddenly remembered his voice. You were in Richard's class with me, I spoke. Yeah, Richard kicked me out 2 months before
That's
graduation.
an SRT march.
It ruined my life, while you got the
That's a
job I always
laddie.
dreamed of. He looked at me through the window and gripped his phone tight, but when he saw the snipers, his face sharpened. He disappeared,
Oh,
and within
nah.
seconds, the front door swung open. He opened his jacket before the officers could rush in, and my eyes widened in shock.
What
His
the hell?
chest was strapped. This bomb is tied to
Yo, he has like
my
50
heartbeat.
bombs.
If your snipers
For the
shoot
hiding
me
gift,
and my heart
Ashley.
stops, this whole house explodes.
You were the W Aryan.
Including Richard Carls. He walked back inside and shut the door, and I instantly picked my
Aryan.
receiver up with trembling hands. I asked, "What do you want?" Because Richard always taught me asking why makes attackers defensive. Ask what instead. But this time, he didn't respond. He
What? They were the hiding gift, Ashley.
dragged Richard to the front window and pressed the gun against his head. I want the man who got picked over me to
Oh,
watch
nah.
as I put a bullet in the man who picked. My legs
No.
almost buckled. You have 2 minutes. You can come in alone and watch me shoot him in front of you, or you
Such a bunny lovers.
can watch me shoot him from a distance. He's dead either way, but the choice
Oh,
is yours.
nah.
Richard met my eyes through the glass.
What will he do? Like 2 options, and this guy still dies, and he's innocent. Like, bro.
The left side of his face drooped since his stroke, but he gave me the smallest nod, just like he used to in training. My hands shook, but I gave the phone to the officer, unstrapped my vest, and began walking towards the house. I was about to cross the line they tell you never to cross in hostage negotiation, because the man inside taught me everything I knew about saving people, and this was the only way to save him. I put my hand
The only way, because if I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna fight him inside. Because listen, chat, if he just stares from a distance, like, he's not gonna be able to fight. You're the hiding gift, John.
on the doorknob and twisted. I stood beside a police
Alright, next
cruiser.
story, chat. Oh no! No!
I stood beside
Oh, wait,
a
no.
police cruiser.
It's
I
okay.
stepped into the house with my hands up, and the man immediately pointed his gun at my chest. The bomb strapped to his sternum beeped steadily, and my old hostage
Oh, nah.
negotiation mentor,
They were
Richard
star.
Carls, sat tied to a chair behind him. The left side of his face drooped from his stroke. The attacker kicked a chair toward me. Sit!
You were
I
the 6'7", Steve.
smelled the alcohol on his breath and froze. Drunk attackers are less predictable, and I realized negotiating with him would be even harder. Richard's eyes stayed steady, but for the first time in my life, I knew he couldn't help me, as he was the one in danger. The attacker pressed the gun against his
Oh,
head,
nah.
say goodbye, and took off the safety. But I remembered
No.
Richard's words. Get them talking about themselves. Let them spend emotion before they spend the bullet.
Oh.
And immediately blurted out, "What are you gaining from this?" He
Oh, he's trying to make him stop. Chat, I see what he's doing. Think about the jamming gift, PBJ. WPBJ with the jamming gift. Thank you, bro. We haven't gotten a gift in a while. WPBJ. And WPBJ again with the jamming gift. Thank you, PB&J. WPB&J, thank you, bro.
He
WPBJ.
looked at me for a second.
Thank
I'm
you,
getting
dude.
revenge on the reason
You're
I
the
couldn't
hiding
make
gift,
my dad
pretty
proud.
cat.
His voice almost broke.
You're the star,
my dad
Ashley.
was a cop.
You're
He
the
said
hiding
the
gift,
world had
Lorena.
enough shooters like him. He wanted me to be a talker, so I read hostage negotiation books until the spine fell off.
It's actually working. This guy's making him yap. Thank you for the 6'7", Monica. Thank you for the jamming gift, Rexo. W Rexo with the jamming gift. And W Bentley with the jamming gift. And W the only Adam with the jamming gift. W the only Adam, Bentley, and Rexo. Thank you all. And thank you for the 4100s, Tara. W Tara. 5100s. W Tara. They were the flower PBJ. Thank you all. W's.
Off just to make my dad proud. He pressed the gun to Richard's head harder. Then I enrolled in this old bastard's class, and he picked you over me. He told me I wasn't good enough. I realized he was doing this out of anger towards us. Suddenly, a red sniper dot from outside settled onto his strapped chest. His face tensed, and he picked up his phone. This bomb is wired to my heart. It'll explode if my heartbeat stops. So go on, shoot me. We'll all die together. The dot disappeared instantly, and my heart pounded, but my face stayed composed. He picked up his bottle and took a giant swig. Now, old man, what are your last words? He slapped Richard's drooping cheek and reloaded the pistol at his head. My chest tightened as I scrambled for what to say. My mentor couldn't die because of me. But then Richard spoke.
Chad, what do you think he's gonna do?
Sounds like you didn't want to be a negotiator. His voice was slow and slurred.
Oh, he's tricking him. You're 6'7" Bentley. Thank you for the jamming gift, Misty. W Misty Webb with the jamming gift. Thank you, Misty. W Misty, and thank you for the jamming gift, Monica. Yo. Okay, that name actually sounds like something bad. W Matthew, I'm gonna say your last name. W Matthew and Misty. And thank you for the laugh. Let's go, Sky. W Sky with the laugh. Let's go. Thank you, Sky. That's a bunny lover. W. Thank you, guys.
You just wanted your father to be proud of you and thought being a hostage negotiator was the only way. The attacker's face flickered and he lowered his gun an inch. Richard kept going. But the truth is, you never needed to be that. You just needed to be a talker, not a shooter. That's all your father ever wanted. He looked him in his eyes. If you lower your weapon, you'll do exactly that. You'll become a talker. You'll make your father proud. It's
looped. It's not looped.
The attacker's eyes filled with tears. He started crying, and his gun fully lowered. He slid onto the floor next to the empty bottle and sobbed, "I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry." I looked at Richard and realized he'd been labeling and influencing the attacker. Techniques he'd taught me all those years ago. I called the officers in, and within seconds,
bro actually saved himself. They were 678.
Were inside, cuffing the man and disarming his vest. As they untied Richard, he gave me a small nod, just like he used to. He never stopped being my teacher.
W.
Even with a gun to his head.
W.
I was walking past my foster daughter's room at night when I noticed something that made me freeze. She was punching her pillow and screaming, "I can't hear."
You were the dollar, Sarah. W Sarah with the dollar. Thank you, Sarah.
I realized she was asleep. Her whole
body
trembled,
Sarah, bro.
She just kept sleep talking the phrase, "I can't hear." I was confused because Mia was deaf and picked up her hearing aid. But it didn't look damaged. Yet in the morning, Mia ate her cereal with one hand pressed to her ear. She couldn't look at me or my son Jake without going pale with fear. That night, I asked Jake about it. He watched Mia after school until I got home, so I thought he'd know, but he just shrugged without looking up from his phone. Bro's on his iPhone all day. That hearing aid.
What the hell? Yo, Lenjed? What the hell is Lenjed? Yo, we have same user, bro. Not the same user. Name is Lenjed.
It's probably trauma from before she came here. I thought back to the caseworker telling me how Mia's last foster parents would hide her hearing aid and figured Jake was right. But that night, Mia screamed, "I can't hear," in her sleep again.
You were hiding it, Brian.
When I came home from work, her hearing aid was on top of the kitchen cabinet. She was too short to put it there. And when I signed to Mia why she wasn't wearing it, she went completely still.
Thank you guys for 141K. I just realized we hit it. W 141K. Thank you guys.
Jake just shook his head.
W.
That night, Mia's screaming.
Keep subbing up if you guys want shoutouts.
Please don't take it. I'll be good. And the night after that, she said something that made me grip my chest. "Jake, please." I told myself it was nothing, but the next morning, I told Jake I was working overtime. He smiled. "That's okay."
They were the 3100s. W Lisa. 4100s. W Lisa.
Okay, me and Mia will play board games till you're back.
Damn.
I left the house feeling sick, then crept back around
and
hid in the hallway closet. I waited for 3 hours until Mia came home from school, knuckles white around her school bag. She sat at the kitchen table and opened her homework, and that's when Jake walked in. Mia's hands flew up. "Jake, no, please." I froze because those were the words I'd heard her yelling.
You were 100. Shout to Deku.
And kept watching. Jake crossed his arms. "That's what you get for
hiding
my
it,
dad's
Brenda.
attention. You're not getting these until he comes back." He ripped the hearing aids out of Mia's ear and set it on top of the cabinet. Her world went silent.
Are we serious right now? Think of the Uncler Jacob account. W Jacob account with the Uncler. Thank you so much, Jacob. W Jacob, bro. That's the Aura. Aura. It's just the Aura. You were the W. You were the hiding of Zephyr. Thank you so much, Jacob, though. W. Jacob in the chat.
I watched in horror as Mia slid down into a corner, pulled her knees to her chest, and started rocking. I can't hear. I realized Jake forced her to relive her trauma for hours every day until I came home. That's why she was sleep-talking. I silently slipped out of the closet, opened my laptop, and started looking up adoption agencies for Jake. I was walking...
W. Wait, adoption agency? Oh, hell nah, chat. No, nah, that's insane.
Nearly knocked off my feet when the mortar shell hit the battlefield I was running across. My base was still at least a quarter mile away, and I had to get back with the intel I gathered on my recon mission. Just then, my leg was caught by something. I looked down. It was another soldier. He took the full blast from the mortar, and his uniform had been burned to black ash. I picked him up and carried him the rest of the way to the base. When we arrived, I gave them my report. The enemy was closing in, and fast. Good report, but that's not the only thing you brought us, Sergeant. Turns out the soldier you brought in was an enemy messenger, and I want you to get information out of him to stop the incoming attack, by any means necessary. I went down to the soldier's holding cell. He was already strapped to rack for torture. I grabbed a bat covered in barbed wire from the table. I just wanted to scare him. I didn't think I had it in me to hurt this man. Tell me what I want to know, and I'll take this easy on you. Your troops are almost here, and they have to be stopped. He was silent. Fine. If you won't tell me, we'll do this the hard way. I ripped his shirt off and prepared to strike, hoping he would say something before I had to. On his chest was a tattoo of 3 girls' names. I stopped myself. My wife and daughters, he said.
Nah.
I just want to go home to them. I put the bat down. Beating prisoners just wasn't me, and it sure wasn't what I was fighting a war for. I decided to be a human before being a soldier that day. I released the prisoner and helped him escape despite the risk. Before he disappeared into the woods, he turned and said, "Thanks for helping me. Take this in return." He handed me a slip of paper. "If you broadcast this code, it will stop the enemy attack and they'll retreat. Then
shout out to Mackenzie.
Maybe we can both go back home." The enemy attack had already begun, so I sprinted back to the broadcast tower and sent out the code. The shelling stopped, the enemy retreated, and hundreds of lives were spared. I was nearly...
W.
A toddler was doing a crossword puzzle alone on the park bench, so I crouched down and asked if she was lost. She swatted my hand away. I am a 40-year-old woman.
We already watched
My
that.
grandma walked out into the open street with her eyes closed. A bus.
We already
My
watched
twin brother
that.
texted me at 6:48 p.m.
Give her the makeup
My
brush.
date will be there at 7. Her name is Claire. Please pretend to be me. He was
Oh, hell nah. Shout out to
stuck
Sophia.
3 states away. His flight wasn't moving,
To
and I had
JP.
13
Shout out
minutes
to
with
Area.
0 information. Claire knocked at 7:02, holding 2 grocery bags. "I got everything on your list," she said, walking past me into the kitchen. "Shallots, good olive oil, fresh pasta, everything for your grandmother's carbonara." She set the bags down and smiled.
W.
"I've been thinking about this all week." I rubbed my face, trying
Guys,
to remember what a shallot
like up the stream and subscribe. D67
was. Right, I
Mackenzie.
said. The carbonara. She tied on an apron and looked at me expectantly while I opened the bag and stared at it like a crime scene. I found pasta, which was the full extent of my knowledge, then put a pot on the stove
nah.
and turned every burner to high
Shout out
because I
to D4 Beast with the gold coin.
didn't
Thank
know
you, bro.
which knob matched which flame. You okay?
You're the hiding
I
gift,
nearly
Zeph YR. Guys, keep sending gifts if you would like to. Spam the laughing discos, bro.
dropped the spatula.
This is Zaya. So the red
Just
Barrett
getting in the
Hunter.
zone. Under the counter,
If
I
you
texted
want.
my brother, "What is a shallot?" Claire told me about her week while I nodded, sweated, and dumped the pasta in before the water boiled because I needed to look busy. She stopped mid-sentence. "Did you just put pasta in cold water?" I stood straighter. "I do it differently. It's a texture thing." She raised her eyebrow at me. "Your grandmother..."
Thank you for the laughing disco, Everest. W Everest with the laughing disco. Thank you for the gold coin, Mackenzie. W Everest. You're the go Everest. W Everest with the laughing disco. Thank you, bro.
Taught you that? The shallot rolled off the cutting board onto the floor. She was unconventional. I survived 20 more minutes by asking questions whenever
Shout out
she
to
looked at the
Monkey.
stove and refilling
Thank
her
you,
wine whenever
Everest.
she looked at me.
W Everest, bro.
The carbonara came out as a pale
You were the
clump.
gold
I
coin,
played
I
it in
love
2
cats.
bowls like a small surrender. She took 1 bite, chewed slowly.
You were
then
the
brought her
hiding of
napkin to her
ET
mouth
games
and politely
and
spit
only,
the food out. "This is exactly how my ex made it," she said. "He couldn't cook either." I put my fork down and put both of my hands on the table. "Claire, I have to tell you something."
That's a
She picked up
Candace.
her wine. I know. I froze. "Matthew is lactose intolerant," she said. "There's half a cup of Parmesan in that carbonara." She swirled her glass. I figured it out around the shallots. My mouth hung open in shock. "You're funnier than him," she said. Same face, though. My twin brother texted me at 6:48.
W.
My girlfriend gave my dog away while I was visiting my parents for the weekend. I'd had Dexter for 6 years before I met Megan, and on our second date, I told her flat out, "He's a package deal." She laughed and
Oh,
said she
hell no.
loved
We already
My
watched
wife
that
called me
way. Thank you for the jamming gift, Annalise. W. Annalise with the jamming gift. Thank you so much, Annalise. W. Annalise.
My wife called me screaming and crying.
Thank you.
I just found her like this, and I instantly knew what she meant.
W.
Our
Annalise.
daughter was struggling badly with mental health, and I knew I needed
Thank
to
you
get
so
home
much.
immediately. I drove to the airport while she was in the ambulance, but as soon as I asked them to put me on the next flight out, they told me I'd have to wait until tomorrow. Everything was booked, and I genuinely had a panic attack. I begged them, saying my daughter might not be alive tomorrow. Everyone was staring, and I was about to completely lose it, but then someone grabbed my shoulder.
Are you giving
A
away
guy I had never
memberships
seen
again? Can't.
before told me her
My bad, Jaden. My bad. Shout out to Arrows.
what I said and asked what happened. I was confused, but told him my daughter had just attempted to take her life, but I was stuck here. He told me to wait there, and about 10 minutes later, he came back. He just said, "Come with me." I had no other
Shout out to
option,
TJ
so I followed
Edits.
him. But when we went through the VIP section, I had no idea what was going on. But then I saw him crying. He told me his daughter lost her life while he was away, and every day he wished he could have made it in time. We walked outside, and he told me
Give
to
her
get
the
on.
W,
We flew
Bryce.
straight to the hospital, and I got there just in time before she passed. My wife called me screaming and crying. My mother had a chessboard set up in the living room, and every few weeks
Give her the
she'd
W,
make just
Kitty
one
Cat.
move on either side. It was
We
like
already
she was,
watched
my
that,
older brother
frick.
dared me to walk across the cafeteria and ask out the prettiest girl.
We
I
watched
was
that.
wrongfully
I'm
convicted
gonna
of murder
crash
and
out.
had accepted I'd never get out. The night it happened, I walked into a bar bathroom and found a man face down with blood pooling around
We
his
already
The
watched
door
that.
quietly
Oh
opened,
my
and the
gosh.
loner kid from my class,
We already
Kathy,
watched
pulled
that.
out her phone and moved her fingers rapidly across her screen. "I'm hosting a party here tonight." I looked over at our grandmother holding her walking cane and staring blankly at a wall. "No, you're not. Grandma
Bruh.
is 92. We're supposed
Oh,
to be taking
nah.
care of her." Kathy crossed her arms. "Grandma's also blind and deaf. She won't notice a thing." I waved my finger no, but when I looked at her phone, over 30 party invites were
Oh my
already
God.
sent out. I tried to grab it and
Damn.
unsend every invite, but she'd already posted it to her story for all her friends to see. I pointed at Grandma on the couch, drooling from her mouth. What if she gets hurt? She already thought I was an intruder and tried to hit me with her cane earlier. "Relax,
nah.
it'll be fine." Kathy waved her hand dismissively. Then the doorbell rang. Kathy's boyfriend and his friends walked in carrying 12 packs of beer. They stopped inches from Grandma's face. "She really doesn't know I'm here." He waved his hand in her face while Grandma
Hello?
stared at the sky, high on her painkillers. Within an hour, 50 people were drinking in Grandma's living room.
Bro, she's
While
just
she sat on
there.
her sofa, completely oblivious. Her glass of water
She
had
she
been
doesn't
swapped for
even
beer.
know.
And Kathy's friends stood around her, posing for pictures and careful not to touch her. My stomach turned, and I tried to walk towards her, but Kathy
They were the
grabbed my arm.
star LOLZ.
"Leave her alone. She's our entertainment." I looked back at Grandma and saw her reaching for her glass she thought was water. She took
Shout out to Steven. They were the chili Bryce. How come your lives are so repetitive? Do different things. I try, bro. I try. I'm probably gonna, I don't know. I'm thinking.
one sip and instantly spit it out. "Why is there beer in my water?" The whole party started laughing, and I felt disgusted. Grandma flailed her arms
Shout out
to
to
get rid
Bunny
of the
Lover.
taste and accidentally touched Kathy's
Oh,
boyfriend's
nah.
head. She instantly recognized it wasn't me or Kathy and grabbed her cane. "Who's in my house?" Her voice was
Oh,
frightened,
nah.
and she swung her cane. Kathy's boyfriend ducked, but
Oh
the
my
cane hit
God.
his tray of beers,
Oh,
and they rifled through the
it's
air,
over. It's actually over.
drenching Kathy head to
That's
toe.
savage.
She stumbled back, wiping her eyes and makeup, and
It's over,
slammed
chat.
into Grandma's chair. Grandma immediately stood up. "Who's in my house?" She swung her cane wider, hitting Kathy in the head and
Oh,
knocking the
hell
vase
no. They were the Uncler Carter. W. Carter Reed with the Uncler. Thank you so much, Carter. And thank you for the Laughing Disco SpongeBob Does Stuff. W. Carter and SpongeBob Does Stuff with the Laughing Disco and the Uncler. Thank you both. W's. W. SpongeBob Does Stuff and Carter. With the Hiding Gift, Carter. They were the Uncler. Caden. W. Caden with the Uncler. They were the W Gamer edits. W. Caden with the Uncler. And they were the Uncler again, Caden. W. Caden. Oh my God. They were the Laughing Disco and Uncler. W. Carter, Caden, and SpongeBob. Thank you all. W. Caden especially, though, with the two Unclers. Thank you, bro.
to the floor.
You're the
Someone
hiding
yelled,
gift, J-
"Run!" and 50 people
You were the hiding
stampeded
gift,
for the door.
Janice.
Grandma walked to the kitchen, sweeping her cane in front of her. "I'm calling the police." Kathy was on the floor, soaking in beer, screaming, "No, Grandma, please." But
You were the
Grandma
happy
couldn't
poop.
see or hear her. She picked up the phone and told the dispatcher she had
You were
intruders
the hiding
in
gift,
her home.
Brian.
Kathy pulled out her phone. I clicked the Find My AirPods button and heard the beep coming from inside my
What the hell? They were the hiding gift, Caden.
Ooh.
Yo, what's up? They were the $5 Sean. What's up, dude? They were the Laughing Disco Frost AC. Yo, W Sean with the $5. What's up, dude? And thank you for the live disco, Frost AC, and SpongeBob Does Stuff. Thank you for the live disco, too. And thank you for the hiding gifts, Flacco, Caden, Janice, Murray. Thank you, guys. W Frost AC, Sean Hayes, and SpongeBob Does Stuff. And thank you for the jamming gift, Doodoo. W Doodoo with the jamming gift. Thank you, Doodoo. They were 6-7, Caden. W Doodoo with the jamming gift. Thank you, bro.
Cat. I threw open the drawer where
W.
I kept the AirPods, and inside was the
We're
case
hiding
with
gift,
one
Brian and Caden.
AirPod missing.
Thank
My
you,
heart beat
guys.
faster, and I walked over to Miso, who was loafed up
It
on
was
my
a happy
little
food.
sister's pillow, pressed my ear against her stomach, and hit it again. Beep, beep, beep. I froze because someone had fed Miso my
What the hell, bro?
AirPod on purpose, and I had no idea why.
Shout out to
Mom,
Cheery.
I screamed, and she came
out
walking
to
with her
Bunny
phone
Lover.
already out. Seconds later, the emergency vet was on speaker. Depending on when she swallowed it, she might only have hours left to live. Do you know when she ingested it? I spun around and shouted into the house. Who fed Miso my AirPod? Footsteps came walking
hell
up the
nah.
stairs, and my little sister
Oh, hell nah, bruh. They were live disco, Frost AC. W Frost AC with the live disco. Thank you, Frost AC. They were star kidding. W Frost AC, bro.
Mia showed up in the doorway crying her eyes out. I did this morning. I hid the AirPod in a churu cat food
We're hiding
treat.
a Flacco.
I just stared at her. Mia, why would you do that? She wiped her nose with her sleeve. I heard Mom on the phone with her friend. She's planning to give her away. I fed her the AirPod so I could find her when she was gone. The bedroom
Pre-recorded,
went
it's
silent.
not.
I looked at Mom, and Mom looked at the floor. Mom, is this true? She nodded.
Shout out to
My face
Zaylin.
went hot, but
Shout
I
out to
leaned
Ray
toward
Ray.
the phone first. She swallowed it this morning. The vet's voice changed. Get in the car right now. On the floor, Miso was sprawled out like a ginger carpet, her tiny paws limp, and I didn't know if she was going to survive.
Bro, his cat actually swallowed an AirPod. It's over. Shout out to Loom Fairy. Everybody, subscribe if you want a shout out. Let's see if we can hit 142K.
Mom grabbed her keys. We
Come
talk
on,
about
guys.
this later. First, we save her. When we got to the clinic, the vet took one look at the x-ray and rushed her through
Lemon.
the back doors. Then it was just us in the waiting room, wondering why Mom would ever give Miso away. An hour later,
Shout out to
the vet
Elias.
came out holding my AirPod in a little plastic bag. She's okay. We got it out in time. I turned to
W.
Mom.
Shout out to
Mom,
Connor.
why would you ever do that? Mom broke right there in the
Oh,
lobby.
nah.
Her kidney pills are $200 a month and we're behind on every payment. I
Shout out
wasn't
to
giving her
Nell.
away because I don't love
Shout out
her.
to
I was
Around the World
ashamed.
Gaming.
Mom, you should have just told me. I have savings.
Shout out
I
to
can
Scarlett.
help out. I slid my phone across the counter and told the vet to charge it. I was ready to sell the AirPods, the case, whatever it took, because she was coming home. Mia fed her that
Oh,
AirPod
nah.
so she'd never lose her, and it worked, just not the way she planned. That night, Miso was back on her pillow, loafed up like sweet bread. I went to put my AirPod away, and the little plastic
You give if I say skibbity, 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 dop, dop, dop. Yes, yes.
bag on my desk was empty. I pressed play sound one more time, and the beep answered from right behind me. Mia
Give her
was
the gold coin,
frozen in
Moises.
my doorway with a churu in one hand and my AirPod half buried inside it, just in case. I have never moved
Bro,
faster in my
what?
life. I clicked.
Oh, nah.
I watched my girlfriend send her entire paycheck across town to help raise her little cousin and decided she was the kind of person I needed to marry. But she told
Oh, hey, yo. They were the hiding if
me
addicts.
previously she'd only say yes if I truly proved I was worthy of her love. I looked at her phone the following night and in her notes saw a photo of a beautiful emerald ring with the words, "Maybe one day," written
Oh,
beside
hell
it.
nah.
I opened
Shout out to
my
Sarah.
secret savings account without telling her. I picked up extra shifts, delivered food on week.
Thank you for the Uncler edits. Can you say legends for edit? Legends. W edits with the Uncler though. Thank you so much, edits PR7. W edits. Thank you so much for the Uncler, bro. You're the GOAT. W edits.
Weekends and sold anything I didn't need.
W
even
edit
skipping
pros.
lunches at work because she deserved the world. Finally, I had just
Shout out to
enough.
Steven.
I texted her that morning. I have a surprise for you tonight. Be ready. She sent back a heart. I grabbed my jacket, looked at the photos
Shout out
of
to
her
Blue
and her
VR.
cousin by the staircase and headed out. I cut through her old neighborhood toward the little jewelry store she'd pointed out once on a walk. But on my way there, I saw a teenage girl on the side of the road. She was alone and bleeding profusely.
Oh my
Nobody
God.
was stopping to help her. I ran to her.
Okay,
and
bro.
called
How can you not see it? from there. What the
Ambulance.
hell?
At the hospital, doctors said she needed emergency surgery right now to save her life. But without a
Shout out to
parent
Mr.
present or
Cheeseman.
insurance, they needed a deposit before they could start the operation. The amount was almost exactly what I'd saved. I looked down at my phone. My girlfriend's love heart was still on the screen. I looked back at the little girl, who was almost unconscious now. I took out my wallet and paid every dollar.
Let the
walked
VR
home
dog go
empty-handed,
gaming.
nothing to show for the months of work I'd put in. My girlfriend was in the kitchen in her favorite dress, smiling and waiting for her surprise. I couldn't hold it in. I broke down and told her everything. The emerald ring, the little girl, the money. But before I could finish, she dropped beside me. She held my face and kissed me, and while crying said she would marry me. I didn't understand. Then I looked behind her at the family photo by the staircase, and there she was, the teenage girl from earlier, standing right next to my girlfriend as a child. I just saved her life.
W.
My girlfriend smiled and said, even though she never got her ring, she certainly got her answer. I watched. When I visited my dad in the hospital, I found him sprinting laps around his bed.
What the hell?
Arms in the air. I started laughing. Dad,
What is bro doing?
what's going on? The last time I visited you, you could barely move. He spun around with a grin and pointed 2 finger guns at me.
Oh,
Don't
hell
look so
no.
worried, kid. Your old man finally found something to live for, and now I feel better. I shook my head because a man with stage 4 liver cancer doesn't just feel better overnight. What was going on? 2 days
I
later,
wonder.
found him hanging off the patient lift bar, doing pull-ups. His IV
Why is bro doing pull-ups
taped
now?
up to the
What?
ceiling. My jaw dropped to the floor. A man that sick shouldn't have had the strength. The man that he shared the room with started laughing. He
Guys, subscribe if you want a shout out. Shout out to Ryder. And feel free to send gifts like laughing discos.
looked even sicker than my dad, but my dad dropped down, took his hand, and the two of them waltzed between the beds,
What the
spinning
hell,
each
bro?
other under the lights. I looked at their IV drips to see if the
Give me the
nurses
GG
were adding
edits.
anything to make them act this way, but it was all clear. The old guy grinned at me over my dad's shoulder. He leads better than my wife ever did.
Totosma.
My dad spun him out. Easy, Walt. Watching them turn, I saw a corner of red poking out from under the man's mattress.
Give me the happy poop Spinosaurus.
So while they were still spinning, I sneaked over and
I was
pulled
doing
it out.
something on
Yo,
that.
thank you for the $2, Tragic Will. W Tragic Will, welcome back, bro. Thank you for the $2, Tragic Will. W Tragic Will. Shout out to Clampo. Shout out to James. Shout out to Elena. W Tragic Will, welcome back, dude.
A red rubber hot water bottle, warm in my hands. I unscrewed
You were
the
the
cap,
hiding of
and as soon
JJ
as I smelled
Birchie.
it, I gagged. It was the strongest whiskey I'd ever seen. Those two idiots had been working together to sneak in alcohol
Oh,
into
nah.
their hospital room. My dad stopped mid-step, but his friend
Oh,
kept
hell
swinging.
nah.
My daughter tops it up. Doctor said no fluids after 8, but he never banned a nightcap. My dad watched my face and chuckled. Told you I found something to live for, son. So I took a swig myself.
Oh, hell
handed
no,
it back
chat.
to his friend, and pulled my dad in for the next dance. He gasped.
Bro,
and I
what?
laughed. Don't look so worried, old man. When I visited
Shout out to Savvy. Chat, do you want me to send $1,000? I mean, dude, every time somebody says that, they're lying. But if you wanna, go ahead, bro. But you don't have to. I swear, everybody just says that for attention.
a grocery store fired me, so I
But-
stole from them. Years ago, my mom couldn't afford to feed us without the school lunches, and she made just enough to not qualify for food stamps. I was a teenager, just trying to
Oh,
make
nah.
sure we had food on the table, so I got a summer job at a grocery store. That lasted about 2 weeks when the manager pulled me aside. We had never actually
Oh, the
spoken before. He looked at me
TBLW
and said, I
Toka.
just don't like your personality. You're
Oh,
done.
nah. You spent all your jewels? Oh, whoa. Yo, edits, thank you, bro. You're the GOAT, bro. W.
I started crying right there and told him my mom was counting on that paycheck for groceries this week. He said I was being dramatic
to
and walked
Tamatoa.
away.
Shout
When
to
I got
Country
home,
Ball.
I emptied my pockets and found the roll of markdown stickers I'd been using that day.
Shout to
They were the
Confusing
ones the store
Person.
used to mark down anything close to expiring. I sat there staring at them. The next morning, I copied the barcodes onto sticky paper and drove to a completely different location. I walked
They
up
were
to
the
the
Sorry
meat section,
Lena.
grabbed a pack of salmon fillets, stuck
That's
a
a
label on
Riley.
it, and took it to the self-checkout. I scanned it with shaking hands.
Shout out to Miguel.
$2. It worked. Once I knew it worked, I started hitting different stores, keeping the trip small and always paying cash.
W.
Alright,
Yo,
this the last super
thank you for
chat.
the $5, Tragic Will. W Tragic Will with the 5. Shout out to Hunter. Well, yo, thank you. W Tragic Will with the $5. Yo, I can send $50 if I give you a mass. No, that's not how it works, bro. W Tragic Will with the $5 though. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Jessica. W Tragic Will. Thank you for the 5. You're the go, bro.
Racks of ribs for $2, big veggie trays for $1, expensive cheese for 99 cents. I hit about a dozen stores that summer. Our fridge
You were the
started
star.
filling up for the first time since school let out. I never got caught, not once. My mom eventually asked where all the grocery money was coming from. I told her I got an academic scholarship. A grocery
Damn.
store fired My girlfriend ignored me all day, then called at 11 that night. Come over. I got on my motorcycle, and by the time I hit the highway, I had decided that when I got there, I was going to end it. I was tired of being something she only kept around for when she didn't want to be alone at night. I ran through exactly what I was going to say in my head as I drove to her apartment.
Bruh.
Then my front
Don't
tire
do that.
hit a wet patch
You're
on
not
the
gonna get
highway,
fireplace.
and I went over the
I'ma find a send $50 and you give a massive shout out. I mean, that would be insane. And yes, I would, but I don't think you are gonna do it, bro. You were the $2, Connor. W Connor with the $2. Thank you, Connor. W Connor, bro. Thank you. W Connor.
Bars. Everything went black. I woke up 2 days later in a hospital bed.
Thank you, Connor, for the 2, bro. You're the GOAT.
Slumped in the chair next to me with her head on her arms, completely asleep.
You're welcome. Yeah,
I
thank you,
stared at
bro.
her and thought about the speech I had been rehearsing on that highway. When she heard me stir, she snapped awake and grabbed my hand with both of hers. Hey, I'm right here. Her eyes were red and her whole body was shaking. A nurse came in to take my
That's
vitals,
official
and my
AQUIL.
girlfriend stood up. I'm going to go get you your favorite snack from the vending machine. I'll be right back. I promise. She walked out, and the nurse smiled. You're a very lucky man. She was through those doors before the ambulance got here and hasn't...
Is that if I send $50 and live? Okay, that's... Can't do it for $50. I can't. They were the floating car credit card, but do it! You keep saying that, but then you don't. They were hiding it, Elena. You don't have to, but like... If you're gonna do it, then do it. Like, bro, I don't understand. Every time someone asks, bro.
Left this room once.
Like, you guys
She
are
came back
capping.
with a pack of M&Ms.
That's a Titan. You guys are real cappers.
Tore into them. Wait, what about work? She sat on the edge of my bed and started to cry. After I heard about the accident, there was no way I could focus on work. She had used every single day of her
You were the Sparkle
paid
Zacks.
leave at once to stay with me, which caused her to lose a promotion. She wiped her eyes. It's okay though. You are more important than any
W.
of that. I looked at her, sitting there exhausted.
Shout out to
I thought
Moa.
about the speech I had been
Shout out to
practicing
Moon.
on that highway. I never gave it, and now we've been married for 4 years. My girlfriend
W.
ignored me all
Love your Gorilla Tag skin. Oh, well, thank you, bro. Trying to send $20, Legend, it won't work. I don't know how to fix that. My bad. Yeah. What the hell did I do? What the? Nah, but I don't know, bro. Sorry.
My daughter was waving
I
at a grown
don't
man
know.
across the daycare
We love you,
parking lot,
Tekka.
and he was smiling back at her. But the second he noticed me, he pulled his jacket over his face and cut through the side exit. I crouched down and asked who that was, and she put her finger to her
Shout out
lips.
to you, Unk.
That's
Shout out to
my secret
Danielle.
buddy.
I am not
asked
an
my
Unk,
wife about
bro.
it at home, and
I'm
she
gonna
said,
crash out.
She's 4. She probably waved at a stranger and made up a story. I don't care. Something is wrong with that man. I'm
We were
going
to
the
star read.
police. She snatched my car keys out of my hand. And say what? That our 4-year-old has an imaginary friend? You're embarrassing yourself. I dropped it. But when I was getting my daughter ready for bed, a handful of candy fell out of her jacket pocket. I sat on the edge of her bed and asked where she got it. She held up her pinky. Promise you won't tell anyone.
Okay, we love you, Tekka. Shout out to Novali.
I wrapped my pinky around hers. My secret buddy gives them to me when you're not around. Where does he give you candy? Here.
Guys,
When he
like
comes
up
to
the
help
stream
Mommy,
and subscribe.
I
Shout out to
grip the edge of her
Daryl.
mattress. What does mommy need help with? He gives me candies and I count to 5,000 while he helps mommy fix her squeaky bed. I thanked her for telling me the truth and kissed her goodnight. I hope she's ready to grow up without a mom. My daughter was
What?
waving at a... My mom took my
were
wife
to
to
star.
Mexico and brought back a stranger. We were eating Chinese when my mom showed up. A real wife cooks from scratch
Give her the
every
floating heart, Kira.
night. Tears ran down my wife's face, and I stepped between them. You didn't cook a single meal while Dad did everything.
Shout out to Wensley Pierre.
And if you make my wife cry again, I will go no contact. When she left, my wife buried her face in my chest. How do I get...
Thank you for the $1, Super Faming. W Super Faming with the $1, bro. You're the GOAT, Super Faming. They were live. Let's go, Noodle Word. W Noodle Word. They were hiding if Elena. W Noodle Word with the laughing disco and Super Faming with the $1. Thank you, Noodle World, especially with the laughing disco and W Super Faming.
Get her to like me. I kissed her.
Thank
are
you.
More than enough. But she shook her head. The next day I came home to every counter covered in homemade dishes and my mom sitting at our table rating each one out of 10. I started walking her to the door again, but my wife grabbed my arm and
hell
pulled me
nah.
into the hallway. We've been cooking together all day. She even invited me on a wellness retreat to Mexico. My
W. Yo, thank you for the 80 stars, Reed. W Reed with the 80 stars. Thank you, Reed. And thank you for the 2 laughing discos, Noodle Word. W Noodle Word with the 2 laughing discos. Thank you, bro. And W Reed. And W Elena with the 40 with the 2100s. Thank you, Elena. W Noodle World with the freaking laughing discos. Thank you, Noodle World. They were the hiding gift, Daryl.
My wife's whole face was glowing when she said it. I shook my
They were the
head.
hiding gift,
Something's
Evil
not right about
Sands.
this. She squeezed my hand. I can read people. She's trying. I agreed. But 2 weeks later, when I went to collect them, my wife
They
had
were
a
the
blank
laughing
look in
disco,
her eyes.
Daryl. W Daryl with the laughing disco. Thank you, Daryl. W Daryl. Thank you, Daryl.
I hugged her. And
W
she didn't
Daryl,
move.
bro.
Meanwhile, my mom was grinning ear to ear. So how was the trip? Fine. What happened on the trip?
Thank you
Nothing.
so
My
much,
mom
Daryl.
laughed. Isn't she so
We're the
much
hiding
more
gift,
ladylike than before?
Christiana.
She only speaks when spoken to, just like they taught her. That
Give it a
night,
star.
I tore through my mom's bag and found the brochure. It wasn't a wellness retreat. It was a wife re-education program. 2 straight weeks of starvation, dehydration, sleep deprivation,
They were the hiding
and
gift,
oxygen
Kason.
deprivation until the brain basically shuts down. I walked into the living room
Shout
with
out to
it in my
Gojo.
hands. My mom
Thank you
saw
for the
the
sub, bro.
brochure and didn't even flinch. I made her a real wife, and honestly, I actually like her now. My wife was sitting on the couch with her hands folded in her lap. I
Shout out
knelt
to
in front of her.
Tobias.
You are more than enough. She didn't move, and this time I was the one to cry. My mom took my wife
Oh,
to
nah.
Mexico. Gary from next door banged on my front door, and when I opened it, he pointed at my porch. That flag has gotta go, cause this is a family neighborhood. I looked between
Let me count that. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that's the gay flag.
my small rainbow
You were the
flag
hiding
and
of
Gary.
Daryl.
It's Pride Month, and my best friend just came out, so I'm being supportive. It's staying. He jabbed his finger at me. We'll see about that. By the next morning, Gary had covered
out to
his
Ninja
entire house
Gaming.
in handmade protest signs, including a banner that said "Unnatural" in
What the hell?
YOURRCL.
Yo, thank you for the $2. Gray Sky. W Gray Sky with the $2. You're the go, Gray Sky. Said the 21 Pilots lover. W Gray Sky, you're cool. Thank you, Gray Sky. W Gray Sky with the 2, bro. You're the go, actually.
letters 2
Thank
feet
you, dude.
tall. I got a second flag and put it next to the first one.
Okay, I'm not
My
watching.
wife started taking orders from our cat's litter box. It began when the
Who were the
smart
Star Evil
box
Sins?
alerted her at 11 one night, and her sister announced a pregnancy the next morning. 2 weeks later, another alert woke us at
You were the
4,
hiding
and
of
that
Evil
afternoon,
Sins.
my uncle died. Joyce
You
opened
were the clutch, high.
notebook, wrote down both times, and whispered, Wayne knew. Within a month, every bathroom trip became a warning. If Wayne went once, we stayed home. If he went 3 times, she packed our day with errands. I missed my dad's birthday because the cat had been too quiet, and when I laughed, she shut the notebook. You don't have to believe him. You do have to respect him. The hallway became a command center, with charts taped to the walls and red arrows connecting timestamps while Wayne slept beneath them. On our anniversary, I stood by the door in a clean shirt, while Joyce sat
Oh,
beside the litter
bro is prepared.
box, arranging 3 months of logs
He's
across
prepared.
the floor. Wayne went
Thank you for the 20 stars, W Elena. W Elena. But also, just to remind you guys, tomorrow we might stream Roblox, or maybe even just any game. Thank you for the 60 stars, W Elena. Thank you, Elena. So stay tuned for that, chat. If you like Roblox and that stuff, all right. I might play more games, but if you want to play Roblox with me tomorrow, so then get ready, bro. Get ready.
4 times
They were hiding of
Something's coming.
Joey.
I told her what was coming was our reservation, but she asked for another hour, so I ate leftovers alone. A week later, I found pumpkin treats labeled for digestive health and gave Wayne one with breakfast. His schedule shifted. Joyce built bigger theories, and 2 months later, with 14
Shout out to
relatives
Jenny.
around our Thanksgiving table, I hid the bag under my chair and waited. Before anyone carved the turkey, Joyce tapped her glass and held up her phone. Wayne went 5 times last night. He's telling us today will change this family. Her mother slowly nodded. The pregnancy thing was strange.
Will you be streaming the live event for Gorilla Tag? Probably not. Probably not. I might though. I might. Just it's not my thing anymore. I know Gorilla Tag's live event's gonna be buns, so I don't think I will. Leave her the sparkles, Elena. W Elena. Alright, hold on, chat. My bad. Shout out to Joshua. I'm gonna give shout outs to people who subscribe while I try fixing my chair, okay?
Joyce's brother
Subscribe if you want shout out.
agreed. Then another relative asked what 5 usually meant. My hand closed around the treat bag under my chair, and for 1 second I wondered if the truth would matter anymore. Then I set it beside the cranberry sauce. I've given him these every morning for 2 months. His schedule changed because of fiber. The room went silent, but Joyce pointed at me. He warned me you'd sabotage our connection. Her father lowered his fork. Joyce, it's a cat.
Shout out to
Wayne
the win.
wandered in, jumped onto the empty chair beside me.
Shout out to
He started licking
Onyx.
his paw. My
Shout out to
phone
Connor.
buzzed with another litter box alert, so I held it up. The prophet has spoken. My wife started taking orders. My boss fired me because he didn't want a guy in a wheelchair pitching to
Oh, nah, that's actually crazy, bro. What a way to start. So we're already starting it. Shut the E then. That's a Wyatt.
clients. So 3 years later, I made him sit across my desk and beg me for a job. Richard called me into his office
Shout
on
out to
Monday and
kiddos.
shut the door. Look, you're the best marketer we have. He couldn't keep eye contact. But the Northfield guys are old school. They golf. They want a guy who walks into the room, shakes hands, looks the part. It's not about you. It's about optics. I asked
That's
him
a
if he was fired.
Lanny. Shut the
He
chopper
said
at
he
it.
was restructuring the role. I rolled out of his office, packed my desk, and left before lunch. By Wednesday,
Chat, everybody. Let's see if we can get to 500 viewers on the
business
stream.
license.
Shut the star.
I worked out of my kitchen with my laptop on the counter because it was the only surface I could reach from my chair. For
Go to
6
Neo
months,
Gaming
I
and
took whatever
Road.
scraps I could get. Then one morning, I got an email from Northfield asking if we could take a meeting. Richard had pitched them my old decks, and they wanted to know who actually made them. I rolled into their boardroom that Friday, and their CEO stood up and walked around the table to shake my hand. He said, "I've been wanting to meet the guy doing the work." Their head of strategy pulled a chair out of the way, so I could pull right up to the table. They signed before lunch. Not one of them mentioned the chair. By year 2, I had 40 clients and a downtown office with ramps to every floor. Richard's firm lost 3 more accounts to me that spring. Adweek put me on the cover in July. Richard's board removed him in August. He spent a year applying to every agency in the city, and nobody called him back. His resume came through my inbox in December. My assistant walked him in, and he lowered himself into the chair across from me. He told me he'd been following my work. He said he could bring leadership, experience, a new perspective. I let him get through all of it. "Richard, you're the best marketer I've seen on paper in months." I watched him almost smile. But my clients are new school. They stream. They want someone who rolls
What time do you plan on doing the live stream on Roblox? Probably 3 p.m. EST. What game are you gonna play on Roblox tomorrow? I'm not sure.
into the
That's a God
room
LVR.
with a fresh perspective.
But
They wouldn't
yeah,
get
I don't
an old
know.
school guy like you. It's not about you. It's about optics. He went completely still. I rolled back from the desk and opened the
What's
door
up, Freaky Billy?
for him. My phone buzzed, and I
They
saw
were
a
Star
bank notification
Jennifers.
that my wife just took out $3,000.
3,000. We already watched
A
that.
skunk lifted its
3,000 is crazy though.
tail on a
Turn your stream to vertical. It is vertical. Play Rivals. I'll see.
school trip and sprayed me. When Mr. Dolan found me, the
Here's
skunk
the
had
Eda.
already
They were
shot
hiding
under the
of
dumpster,
Jennifer.
and he took one sniff with a huge grin on his face. "Looks like someone's been smoking in the woods." I panicked and tried to explain what had happened, but he pinched his nose and laughed in my face. "Skunk? Nobody's that unlucky. You're going to the principal,
W
and this time
legend.
you're getting a
Dang, bro's going to the principal. Thank you for the $2. Banana VRs. W Banana VRs with the $2. Thank you, Banana VRs. What's Roblox username? Blue Sonic ZZ. W Banana VRs with the $2. Even the gold coin Jennifers. W Banana VRs. Thank you, bro.
expelled,
W.
and your mom's about to get a phone call she'll never forget. I remembered that Dolan had sent me to the office
Thank
twice
you.
that month, both times for nothing. That's when I realized he didn't care about what the truth was. He just wanted to get rid of me. He grabbed
They were
my
hiding
wrist
of
so
Sam
hard I
Spark.
couldn't break free and marched me towards the principal. Every kid we passed was already whispering. The lie was turning real, and I was about to lose everything over a smell that wasn't even mine. That's when I had my light bulb moment. "You want proof it's a skunk? It's right there under the dumpster. Go look." He dropped my wrist and stomped toward
They
the
were
dumpster with a
6'7" Sam's Park.
smile on his face, ready
They were
to
the floating
prove me wrong
heart.
in front of everyone. And as
Jennifers.
soon
They
as
were
he
the 6'7" Jaden.
leaned over the dumpster and squinted into the dark, I picked up a rock and slammed it against the metal as hard as I could. The skunk shot out tail first and sprayed him in the chest.
Ugh,
from
but
the
the
foot away.
ugh.
He screamed and fell backward.
Is that a fart?
Into the dirt,
Oh, nah.
soaked, gagging on his own shirt. Principal
It's
King
over.
came running
Chat,
when
it's
she heard him
actually
scream.
over. They
He
were
came
hiding
out
of
running,
Sam's
and he
Park.
smelled so strong that the principal covered her nose. "Mr. Dolan, why do you smell like a dispensary?" He pointed a
Oh,
shaking
nah.
finger at the dumpster. "It was a skunk. There's a skunk right there, I swear." I walked
I mean, yeah, he literally just farted. They were the hiding of Nia. They were the Sparkles, Elena. They were the $5. Mikey McPeters. W Mikey McPeters with the freaking $5. Thank you, Mikey. W Mikey in the chat. Thank you, Mikey, for the $5. You're actually the GOAT, Mikey. They were the Star Jennifers. W Mikey.
walked up next to him.
Thank you,
calm as
dude.
anything. Nobody's that unlucky,
W
sir.
Mikey.
You were smoking. We all saw it. You reek of it. His face went white, and I
Where'd
had
the gold
to hold
coin
back
next?
my laugh. The
Aiden.
principal turned to
They were 6'7", Jaden.
my classmates who'd seen the whole thing. Is this true?
They were
Did you
6'7".
see this happen? I smirked as I watched them all nod immediately, and Principal King pointed at the school bus. Go wait by the bus, Reginald. You're done here, and your wife's about to get a phone call she'll never forget. 20 kids watched him trip over a tent stake on his way out, still gagging on the smell he swore wasn't a skunk. A skunk lifted its tail. A woman had her boyfriend on his knees at gunpoint
Oh, nah. They were the GOHF Jennifers. They were the hiding hypnosis.
inside their home, and an officer handed me the microphone.
That's official,
This is
Wendy.
a hostage situation. She's calling herself Ashley, so we need you to use your negotiation skills to defuse it. But as I looked closer, I realized I recognized her from somewhere, but I didn't know where yet. I cleared my throat and followed routine. Ashley, how can I make things easier for you right now? She quickly responded, stay back or I'll shoot. Her boyfriend turned
nah.
to her. Baby, tell the nice officers you forgot your pills. All of us exchanged
You were the
glances
100
with each other,
Jennifers.
because his tone was exactly the same as the one controlling boyfriends use. And when the floodlights caught Ashley's eyes, I
You were
saw
star.
one thing, fear. I gasped and turned to an officer. Give me the missing person case of Lily Marin. He handed me the iPad with the photo
That's a
of Lily,
man all
and I
over.
held it up beside Ashley. It was a perfect match, which meant my suspicions were correct. I set the mic on the hood and stepped past the cruiser door with my palms out, and every rifle behind me held its breath. Lily, her gun
That's a
stopped
blue and red.
shaking.
Thank you for the 129 stars. W. Elena. Holy. Thank you, Elena. W. Elena.
Lily Marin, I know you. You've been
Tristan, you're wrong because I'm reacting, and this channel allows people to react. They literally had big creators react, so you're kind of wrong on that, dude.
missing for 8 years, and that man is your kidnapper. So you
Everybody, subscribe if you want shout out, bro.
set this whole thing up to finally get the police to find you, but you have nothing to worry about. Nobody here is going to let him take you back. The barrel came down.
They were the clapping seal. I'm good. W, I'm good with the clapping seal. Thank you, I'm good. Shout to Cody. Shout to Dodd. W, I'm good with the clapping seal. Thank you, I'm good. You're the GOAT, bro.
And the entry team
To
put
VR
him through
movie
the door.
gamers,
She stayed rooted to the
makers.
tile.
W, I'm good.
Her voice so small, I barely caught it. Nobody's called me that since I was 13. She was never the hostage taker. She was the hostage. And that gun was the only 911 call she could make with him watching. On the porch, she set the pistol in my hand, grip first. Can you call my mom? A woman had
You're lying to give Zamir. Okay, chat. I don't know if this is a bad idea, but give her the jamming gift, Tucker. W Tucker with the jamming gift. Thank you, Tucker. W Tucker, bro, you're actually goated. W Tucker with the jamming gift. But listen, chat. We might watch her story. Yeah, you guys know about her story. We're gonna watch her story. They were the hiding of Siren Head. So chat, get ready. We're going in.
I cackled when I found an illegal website to watch the Odyssey movie, but as soon as
Without. Okay, no. We're not gonna watch this one.
my
Let's watch
boyfriend
this
woke
one.
up one morning and smiled. I want to be blind, honey. I'm tired of being able to see.
That's a
I thought it was
royalty. That's a Robert.
joke until he sat down and started staring into the sun. His retinas watered and I instantly turned him around. I don't know what's going on, but
Why is he staring at the sun in the first place?
you don't want to be blind. Yes, I do. He grabbed a
Bro,
keychain
what?
and started inching it towards his eyes. I
Oh, nah.
instantly snatched it from him as I was getting really worried. I'm
They
not
were the
dating you if
100.
you're blind, so if you want to stay together, keep your eyes. I knew he loved me, so I thought this would discourage him, but he simply shrugged. You'll love me more when I'm blind. My stomach was now doing flips, and I grabbed my phone because I needed to know what's happening to him. I saw on Google that this was a
They were the jamming gift, Tucker. W Tucker with the jamming gift. Thank you, Tucker. Once again, W Tucker, bro. Shut the ducky
serious
wetty.
mental condition.
W
I grabbed my
Tucker, though.
keys to
Thank
take
you,
him to the
bro.
doctor, but that's when he stood and bolted towards the bathroom. I heard something untwisting, and my chest
W
went
Tucker.
cold. I ran in, but he was already tilting his head back, pouring
That's
bleach into
Susan.
his eyes. It burns so good. I screamed
Okay,
and pushed
what is bro doing? Chat, what?
the bleach away.
They were
He
just
fell to
sour.
the floor, then started smiling to himself while staring at the ceiling. I can't see. I really can't see. This is amazing.
Bro,
I cried and
what?
called an ambulance, and that evening he came home with a cane as he was fully
W
blind.
Tucker.
I did it. I'm finally the way I was meant to be. My heart broke and I packed my things. I'm sorry. I can't do this. His smile instantly dropped. What do you mean you're leaving? I just went blind.
They were
This is
sorry.
when I need you the most. I said nothing and walked out. My boyfriend woke
I
up one
mean,
morning.
yeah,
and
you got it. This guy's going crazy. They were the laughing disco, Savvy. W Savvy with the laughing disco, and thank you for the marshmallow high, Tucker. W Savvy with the laughing disco, and Tucker with the marshmallow high. W Tucker and Savvy, thank you both. W's.
I was cutting my wedding cake when my husband shoved the entire thing into my
Oh
face.
my, oh hell nah.
I wiped my face and I was already crying because I couldn't believe my husband would do this to me. But when my eyes cleared, I saw a note buried in the frosting. I unfolded it.
Thank you for the laughing disco, Susan. W Susan with the laughing disco. Thank you so much, Susan. W Susan.
Danger.
Thank you,
Smile
Susan.
And walk to the bathroom. Pull the
With the
fire
laughing
alarm
disco.
And don't come back inside. I looked around the room for my husband, and when we locked eyes, he mouthed the word "go." I stood on shaking legs, blew
What?
a kiss, and
You
my
were adding
guests
a
all cheered
powder
because none of them
gtag.
knew anything was wrong. As soon as I got to the bathroom, I frantically searched for the alarm, and when I saw it, I rested
were the
my
flower
fingers on the handle.
vortex.
For a second, I hesitated because if this was a prank from my husband, then I was going to ruin my entire wedding for
You
no
were the
reason.
marshmallow
But when I
high, Pam. W Pam Glass with the marshmallow high. Thank you, Pam Glass.
down at the note and reread the
W.
shaky
Pam
handwriting,
Glass.
I decided to trust him
We're the
and
flower
yanked
powder.
it down at full force.
We're the hide and
alarm
gift
screamed
vortex.
and 200 guests stampeded towards the exit. I shoved back through them because I wasn't leaving without my husband. Through the bodies, I saw my husband on the floor with the groomsmen
Oh,
piled
nah.
on top of him, their mouths wide open, and I thought he'd actually
What happened to bro?
pranked me. My heart broke and I screamed, "What is wrong with you?" But when I looked closer, I saw they had a man pinned to the ground.
You were
It was
hiding
my
if
ex.
Aurora-
You really thought I'd let you marry him, he said, grinning into
Oh nah.
the floor.
That's-
My husband
shout out
pulled
to
me close
Static.
and held up the gun they'd pulled off him. He's been behind you
It was a GLHF powder.
since our first dance. I couldn't let him know I'd seen him. Smashing that cake was the only way to get the note into my hand. He wiped the frosting off my cheek and smiled for the first time since that dance. I was
They were the star.
My son tore through my book bag on our camping trip and screamed, "Where's my Taylor Swift body pillow?"
Oh hell nah. You were the gold coin,
I
Susan.
sat him down on a log. "I threw it out, honey. You're 8. It's not healthy to be that attached to a pillow."
Chat, which one is better? Her story? Type 1 in the chat. Her story is better. Type 2 if his story is better. They were the gold coin powder.
Pointed at me like a tiny lawyer.
Which
"Then I'll find
one,
a new one."
chat?
I laughed. "Buddy, we're in the
You
woods."
were the gold
He
coin
stormed
again,
back
powder.
into the tent. You'll see, I just rolled my eyes. But at 2 a.m., I woke up to the sound of footsteps running away from the tent, and there was a note on
They
top
were the
of
hiding
sleeping
gift.
bag. I went to find a body
Acosta.
pillow.
W.
I
Acosta.
scrambled out of the tent with the flashlight. "Caleb, where are you?" I looked down and saw
Give it a
small
thumbs up,
footprints in the
powder.
mud, heading straight for the swamp. I ran after them until the footprints stopped in the water, and my flashlight found my son lying on a crocodile.
Oh nah. What happened? Oh hell nah. They were the flower, Natalia. Why is the sun on top of a crocodile?
12-foot crocodile, his head on its ribs, his
Oh my
arm
God.
draped over its back. 4 more piled around him like 4 bodies.
Chat, he might actually be dead.
I was shaking so hard the light bounced. "Caleb," I whispered, "walk to mommy." Slowly, his eyes slid open, and he'd been awake the whole time. "No." I stretched my hand out
They
over
were
the
the
mud.
Star
"Baby, those
Acosta.
are crocodiles. They could kill you at any moment." He propped himself up on its side like a headboard.
They were the
"I'll get
hiding
up,
gift.
but
I night.
it's gonna cost you." I nodded like a maniac. "Yes, okay, anything." He grinned. "I want the big Taylor Swift body pillow back.
That's
the
a
$60
Joanna.
one, and you can
Oh
never take
hell nah.
it, ever." A crocodile's tail slid across the mud toward him. I screamed, "Deal! We have a deal. Just walk away, please." He stood up slowly, brushed the swamp off his pajamas,
Bro,
and stopped
why does he not care? He's literally like behind 4 crocodiles. They were the gold coin,
right
Susan.
in front of me. "You thought I wouldn't find another body pillow out here, but I found 5.
That's
Then
a
he turned
Benji.
around, patted the crocodile on the snout, and told it
Bro.
goodnight. "You're no Taylor, but you were still nice to cuddle with." My son tore
What's-
I spoke into the drive-through mic. "What
That's
food
a
would you like
Maggie.
today, ma'am?" She marched up to my window with her fists clenched. "You think just because I'm a big woman that I want food all the
Oh hell nah. I mean, bro, it's a restaurant. What do you mean? I want food? What?
time?
Obviously
This is
you're
exactly
gonna
the
want
type
food.
of stereotyping that hurts the fat community. I pointed at the
What's
glowing
the
menu board
eclipse?
behind her. "Ma'am, this is a Wendy's drive-thru." But the woman was angry, and I knew she wasn't leaving without a fight. She reached back into her car door and held the horn down. "We'll see what your manager
Oh,
thinks
hell
about
nah.
you profiling customers." My heart was pounding with adrenaline because there was a huge line of cars forming behind her, and I
Oh,
didn't
nah,
know if she was
chat.
going to convince my manager that I did something wrong. My manager, Dave, came out
Well,
wiping
this
his
is Wendy's, by the way, bro.
hands on his
Food.
apron, and she grabbed his sleeve before he could reach me. "Your employee practically called me fat to my face, and then proceeded to stereotype me based on my weight. I want her
What?
fired, and I'm calling corporate." Dave cleared his throat. "Ma'am, I heard the entire thing."
They were the high five. Ginger is cool. W Ginger is cool with the high five. Shout to Shurin. W Ginger is cool. Thank you, bro.
Asked you if you wanted food because, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, ma'am, but this is a Wendy's drive-thru. I breathed a sigh
Yeah.
of relief, but she crossed her arms because this still wasn't the fight she wanted. That doesn't prove anything. Dave stepped aside and waved his arm at the menu board like a game
Yeah,
show
like,
host.
it's
"Okay,
food."
so would you like any food?" She stared at that board for a long moment, stomped back to her car, pulled forward 6 inches, and mumbled out her window. "This isn't over. I already ate today, so I'm not eating much. I'll take
Bro,
an
what?
Asiago Ranch Club sandwich, classic
Oh
combo
my
with
God.
no lettuce or tomato, extra cheese, Baconator fries with extra bacon,
Oh
and
my god,
extra
holy.
cheese, a Cinnabon pull apart, a
Damn. They were the laughing disco. I don't know. I don't know. W, I don't know. I don't know. With the laughing disco. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know. W, I don't know. I don't know. With the laughing disco. Thank you, bro.
Brownie batter chocolate frosty
Shout out to
swirl with
Dirtbike.
extra chocolate, a pineapple mango
Oh my
lemonade,
God.
and apple bites because I'm on a diet. I could barely
Holy.
hold back my laugh, and my manager did his best to keep a straight face. Okay, ma'am, and to
They were the
apologize
hiding
for the
gift,
trouble,
flame
we'll throw in a
spear.
frosty on the house. She
You're
nodded
the hiding gift monster kid.
so hard her fat rolls were vibrating. Now that's what I'm talking about. She got back in her car, and when we handed her
What a fatty chat. The holy
the
Biggie.
food,
Spam Biggie in the
she
chat.
snatched the bag out of my hand like she just won. As soon as she
Oh
drove
my
away,
God.
I turned to my manager. The only battle she's fighting is her heart fighting to stop her from going into cardiac arrest. I spoke into
Holy, bro.
My sister Maureen begged me to let her borrow my car to haul her stuff to the dump, but since she'd wrecked 3 cars in the last year, I told her I'd drive her myself. As she slammed my trunk shut, I got a text
Holy Biggie. Exactly. Piggy? Damn, we calling her Piggy too. That's insane. I mean, yeah, bro.
from an unknown number. Please
Oh,
don't
nah.
do this. I will give you anything you want. I typed, sorry, wrong number, and drove off. But once I hit the highway, another text came through that said, please, Maureen, please don't kill me. My skin crawled because my sister's phone number was 1 digit apart from mine, and the sender must have entered my number instead. You need to drive faster. This is taking too long. I needed to find out what she was doing to the person texting me.
Oh,
and
nah.
fast. Maureen scrolled Facebook on her phone, and my hand
Facebook. They were the 2 loops. W, I don't know. With the 2 loops. Thank you, I don't know. W, I don't know. With the 2 loops. You're actually goated. W, I don't know. Thank you, bro. W, I don't know.
hands shook as I
They were hiding
texted,
it,
this is
Lisa.
Maureen's sister. What's
How
going
about you?
on? The 3 dots appeared instantly. I didn't know her husband was married, I swear, and now she's going to kill me. Please
Shout out
help.
to
Maureen
Justin.
drummed her fingernails on my dashboard, and I swallowed. Okay, are you somewhere safe? I can try to distract her from getting to you.
That's
Road
Ashley.
signs flew past me, and I tried to find the closest exit with a drive-through I could stall at. At that moment, I heard a
What?
thunk from my trunk, and then another. I held back a scream as I realized that Maureen wasn't just threatening this girl. She was literally going to throw her away.
You were the hiding
and she
it,
was
honeys.
expecting me to help. Maureen cleared her throat and turned the music up. Keep driving.
You were
I
hiding
sped
it
up to
clear.
90 miles per hour.
Oh,
hoping we'd get
90
pulled
miles? That's
over.
insane.
But after a few minutes, we reached the dump and the expected final resting place of my extra passenger. Pull up next to the pit and pop the trunk. Maureen dragged a black contractor bag out of the car and it wiggled and squirmed. Help me with this one, will you?
Guys,
I picked
like up
one
the
end
stream and
we carried the
subscribe.
bag to the
You were
lip of the
hiding
pit
if I'm
on
good.
3. She swung the bag back and forth as she counted up.
They
But
were
then I let
clutch
go
kitty
as it swung
cat.
back and the bag landed away from the pit with a thud. Without thinking, I pushed Maureen backwards over
Oh,
the lip and
damn.
she
What the
fell
hell?
12 feet down into the garbage pile.
Give her a
I
star.
helped the girl out of the bag and we looked over the
What
edge.
the hell?
You're both dead. You hear me? Dead.
You were
I
hiding
dialed
it,
911
Leo.
and put on my
You
best
were hiding if Chelsea.
sob. Please hurry. My sister fell in the pit at the dump and my friend and I don't know what to do. I ended the call. You can't kill the people who saved your life without looking suspicious, can you, sis? Maureen screamed as the girl and I high-fived
Oh,
and
hell
saved each
nah.
other in our contacts. My sister Maureen begged me to let her borrow my
Oh
car.
my god. But chat, subscribe if you want shout out. Shout out to L loves Jesus.
My daughter jumped over the rows of people to get to the front
Thank you for the 6-7 Chelsea. W Chelsea.
of the hockey game. She yelled back up at me, if a puck comes over, I'm catching it. 3 years of practice is finally going to pay off, Mom.
I know about
I
hockey.
had no idea if she was going to catch one or not, but then number 19 threw one straight into her glove. But before she could even celebrate, a boy twice her size shoved her and ripped
Oh
it
my
out of
gosh.
her hands. I
Got another biggie. Shout out to
pushed
Blade.
down the aisle, but a wall of
They were the laughing disco Chelsea. W Chelsea. Shout out to Thanos. W Chelsea with the laughing disco. Thank you, Chelsea.
jerseys stopped me while
W
she picked
Chelsea.
herself up alone. Number 19 skated straight back, tapped the glass, and flipped her a second puck. Don't worry, kid. I know what it feels like to get pushed around. A smile instantly lit her face, and my heart was warm, but this time, a grown man reached over her head and snatched it out of the air.
Oh,
My
nah.
daughter was in
Bro
tears,
just
but
stole
player
it.
number
They were the hiding of Jake. They were the laughing disco again, Chelsea. W Chelsea. Thank you, Chelsea, for the laughing disco again.
19
W.
had his fists clenched.
Guys, keep summing up. Let's hit 142K.
Whispered something at his
W.
bench.
Chelsea.
An usher opened the Zamboni gate and waved my
Give it a
daughter
gold
onto
coin,
the ice.
Lindsay.
Her jaw dropped and the audience cleared the way for her to sprint down. The boy and man who'd stolen from her looked so shocked I thought their eyes were going to pop open. When she made it to the bottom, 2 defensemen lifted her onto their shoulders, and 19 passed a fresh puck up into her glove off his blade.
W. Oh my gosh. They were the 6-7 Chelsea. They were the laughing disco again, Chelsea. They were they were the laughing disco 2 Zaydon. W Zaydon and Chelsea. W Chelsea and Zaydon. Thank you both. And they were the 6-7 again, Chelsea. W Chelsea and Zaydon. Thank you both.
He turned to her.
W's. Shout out to Taylor.
You didn't deserve that. Here you go.
Thank
For
you.
a second, she
They were
raised
hiding
the
it
puck
funny.
over her head, but then her arm wound back and she threw it to a little boy standing in her old spot at the glass. Don't worry, I know
That'd
what
be
it feels
cool.
like to get pushed around. For a second, I was confused, but then she turned
They
back
were
to
the hiding
19
gift.
to explain. He got pushed trying to help me when
They were
everyone
the
was
gold
stealing
coin
it.
nightmare
He deserves it more
Foxy.
than me. 3 years of practice for that puck, and she gave it away in 3 seconds. 19 wiped his eyes with his glove and looked up at her. You're a special kid. You know that? She tugged his jersey. Don't cry, nice man.
You were the gold
You're
coin,
special
Lindsay.
too. My daughter jumped
If you play Rivals with me after this, I will give you $100. I mean, I could after the stream. But, I mean,
I was taking pictures with
Yeah.
my 2 closest friends on a golf cart when one friend turned around. I saw you DM my boyfriend, you hoe. Now you're gonna get what you deserve. My cheeks clenched because I
oh, dude, do it.
never did that. But
Okay.
before I could say
You were the floating heart. I'm good.
anything, she jumped out of the moving cart going full speed. Then the driver jumped out too, leaving me in the back by myself, realizing they set me up. And when I looked ahead, I screamed. A massive group of old people stood right in my
Damn.
path. My heart raced as the cart flew closer, close enough to see the old people sipping champagne and laughing. If I hit them, I'd kill them. So I scrambled into the driver's
Lock
seat, grabbed
in.
the wheel, and stomped every pedal.
That's it, Miss Snoopy Morales. 067,
But
I'm
nothing
good.
worked. It was too late. I braced myself as the cart barreled into the crowd,
Oh,
launching
oh.
old people into the
What
air
the
with
hell?
bowling pins, canes, and champagne flying everywhere.
Holy.
When it stopped, an old woman shrieked from the ground.
What the
"This
hell,
gala
chat?
is to cure sick children, and you ruined it, you ninny." A man in a suit
What is
stormed over.
happening?
"I'm the best lawyer in this county, and you'll pay every cent of the $50,000 you destroyed." I
What?
threw my hands up. My friends left me back there. I was trying to stop it, but right then, my 2
You were the
friends
star,
limped in and
Shannon.
collapsed to the ground. She was driving like a maniac. She threw us off and tried to hit you all for fun.
Oh,
Every
nah.
face turned to glare at me as the lawyer pulled out his phone to call the police.
Oh, hell no. They were the star. They were the laughing disco, Jamari. Jamari with the laughing disco. You watched his story, now you're watching her story. W man, bro. Yes, sir. I'm gonna try it out, you know. Jamari show with the laughing disco, though. Thank you, Jamari. Jamari.
My eyes watered, my whole life ruined over something I didn't do. Then I saw my friends smirking at each other, certain they'd won. But then I remembered something that'd change everything. Wait, I have pictures that prove I wasn't the one driving. My friends' smiles dropped as I held up my phone. The old people squinted, then gasped. Both my friends were sitting up front, and I was in the back, nowhere near the wheel. They were driving. They jumped out and left me. Just then, the police arrived, and the lawyer spun around and pointed right.
They were the dollar hyper GD. Hyper GD. Thank you for the dollar, bro. They were the hiding gift, Zaydon. Hyper GD. Thank you, bro. Shout to Damien. Hyper GD with the dollar. Thank you, dude. Actually, the GOAT. The GOAT.
right at them. "I'll be taking you 2 to court for everything you own." The old woman shook her cane.
Make a Discord server for fans to chat. I already have one. They were the gold coin sniper,
"Want
dude.
my $50,000, you ninnies." My friends
It's
shot
in
up
my
off the
channel
ground,
links.
suddenly healed.
My
As the
Discord
cops hauled
server.
them away screaming, I whispered, "By the way, that DM was from a spam bot." I was taking pictures with my
Oh,
my
nah.
surf instructor told me I couldn't get in the water with a prosthetic leg.
What the hell? Prosthetic leg. They were the hiding gift for on. How old are you? I'm 59. Yo, thank you for the $20, Mikey. Mikey with the $20. Thank you, Mikey. Yo. Mikey, bro, with the 20. And thank you for the jamming gift, bro. Chacho, bro. Bro, Chacho with the jamming gift. Thank you, bro, Chacho. And Mikey with the 20, bro. Thank you, Mikey. W's in the chat for Mikey. Christine Lane. Mikey with the $20. Thank you so much.
Leg liability issue, he said. If something happened, I wouldn't be able to swim back to
You're
shore.
hiding
I
it.
smiled, said okay, and
Iman
paddled out anyway.
Imo.
He came after me, shouting over the waves to come in before I hurt myself or someone else. I was already standing. He pulled alongside me, still yelling, reached over to grab my board.
I'm not
and that's when I
59.
saw the
Yes,
fin.
I am.
The shark hit his board from below and launched me
Jesse.
sideways into the water. He stayed under long enough that I started counting. When he
I'm
finally-
going on. I'm turning 60 next month. You're donating right now. How about 50? Deal. No, that would be insane. Wait. Nah, Mikey though with the 20, bro. Thank you, Mikey.
came thrashing up. He was grabbing
Actual
at anything within
W.
reach. His hands found my ankle. I felt the pull before
Oh,
I heard
nah.
it, a hard pop, like a cork, and he broke the surface, waving
Not
the
the
prosthetic
Abigail.
in the air.
What the
while
hell?
shark disappeared
Bro just took the
with
prosthetic.
His leg, his actual leg. I hauled him onto my board and kicked us back to shore on one leg. Mine.
Hey, yo, wait. What the hell,
Kicked us
bro?
back to shore on one
Hey, yo, Sonyan.
leg. Mine.
That's
He
a.
lived. He lost the
Or
leg just
GR.
below the knee and has not been near the ocean since. The surf school needed someone to cover his classes. I start Monday. My surf instructor told me I couldn't get in the water with a prosthetic
Oh,
leg.
nah.
While driving home from date night, my husband screamed, "Watch out," and swerved into a ditch. Next thing I knew, I was in a hospital bed listening as the doctors told my husband, "Your wife
Shout out
is
to
in a coma."
Joseph.
I remember my chest.
So I want to be famous. Everybody, subscribe if you want a shout out. Alright, because I'm ending stream probably in about 30 more minutes. So subscribe while you can if you want to shout out. They were the 6-7 focus.
Cold because I could hear everything
Shout out to
around me.
Squishy
My
Paw.
husband crying, the machines beeping, but I couldn't move no matter how hard I tried. My husband took my hand, but then the doctors left, and I heard my husband instantly pull out his phone. The plan worked. She's in a coma. List our house for sale right
Oh,
now.
nah.
I'll forge her signature if I have to.
Bro, what? Just a
will
Seek
all be
VR.
over in
I'm gonna
7
keep
days.
shouting out people who subscribe, alright? So keep subbing up. Let's hit 142k. Shout out to Kane. They were the hiding gift J Kid.
My heart dropped through my stomach as I tried to understand what he was doing. I listened to him tell whoever he was on the phone to move money from our joint account.
Yo, Sam's Park. Thank you for sending one gift membership. W Sam's Park. Thank you, Sam's Park. Thank you for the dollar, Gene the guy. W Gene the guy with the dollar. Thank you, Gene the guy. W Gene the guy.
And
Shout out
sell
to
my car.
Alex.
And he kept repeating 7 days. I wanted to scream.
Shout out to
because the
David.
man
Shout out to
I married
Ava.
was betraying me
W
while I was in a
Gene.
coma, but my body stayed still. He got off the phone and whispered in my ear, "Thanks for everything,
Shout out to
darling.
Funny Buddy.
Now I'll go
They were
be with
hiding
the
of
woman
Sabrina.
I actually love." I listened to his footsteps moving away, and then I heard it. He kissed someone, and I realized he was making out with his mistress 5 feet from his
Hey,
comatose
yo.
wife. For the next 7 days, every time the
were
doctor came
6'7",
in, he would
Eric.
grip my hand and cry, acting like the heartbroken husband, then immediately start making phone calls once they left. I felt like a caged animal because I knew once I woke up, I would expose him. But then on the 7th day, he laughed. Today,
Bruh. They were the laughing disco. Seek VR. W Seek VR. Oh, my nose. With the laughing disco. They were the W, bro. Chacho, bro. W Seek VR, though, with the laughing disco. You're the GOAT, bro. W.
is the day. I heard him pull something
You're
from his
nodding
pocket
of Seek.
and call out, "Doctor." Doctors ran in, and I heard the sound of him placing paper in their hands. This is a document my wife wrote 2 years ago. It states if she ever goes into a coma, she wants me to pull the plug after 7
That's a lie. They were jamming gift Elaine. Elaine. W Elaine. And thank you for the jamming gift, Nicole. W Nicole and Elaine. Thank you, Nicole and Elaine. W's. You were hiding gift Seek VR. W's.
7 days instead of bankrupting myself to keep her hooked. My stomach went cold.
You're hiding
I
gift
realized my
Elaine.
husband was trying to kill me, and there was nothing I could
Eliane.
do. I tried screaming, moving my feet, anything to let them know I was alive, but the doctors were already telling him, "Okay, you may have your last goodbye." They left the room, and he sat down in the bed next to me, then leaned in my ear. Her name is Anastasia, by the way, and
Yo, Sam's Park. Thank you for sending another membership. W. Thank you, dude. Okay. They were the hiding of Susu. They were the GG
she's
sat
so much
on.
better than you. The doctors came back in, and my husband immediately burst into tears again. I can't watch. They started.
You were the
reaching for my
W,
plug
Eric.
As I tried curling my hands. Goodbye,
Guys,
my love,
keep
my
subbing
husband
up
cried,
if you
and
want a
that's when I
shout
sat
out.
up, dry heaving and hyperventilating.
That's
I
the
heard
slimes.
everything. I
They're
started yelling about the
slims.
forgery, the accounts, the fake documents. My husband instantly went pale and ran out, but it didn't matter. I was alive. And
Shout out to
3 weeks
River.
later, I was sitting in a courtroom while he sat across from me in handcuffs. The judge banged his gavel and sentenced him to 20 years for attempted
20?
murder of a spouse.
Shout out
I
to
watched with a
Hunter.
smile as he was
Damn.
escorted out in handcuffs. Now he was the one who couldn't move.
Shout out to the wind once again.
While driving home, I downloaded a
Shout out
Ghost
to
Radar
Glenn.
app at 3 a.m. and it pointed at the room in the hallway. My older brother Zick rolled his eyes.
You were
"It's
6'7",
just picking up
Nicole.
our phone signal. Ghosts aren't real." My little brother grabbed the phone and ran into the kitchen. "Look, every time the phone goes somewhere else, the green dot stays by the door. There really is a ghost in there." We all crept down the long hallway together, and the dot flashed brighter with every step. I looked over at Zick, and even he was shaking. We heard a slow, dragging sound behind
They
the
were the
door, and we
W,
all grabbed
Eric.
each other in fear.
W Eric. They were the Ungler Gav KKD edits. They were the Live Disco Munker, and they were gifting a membership, Sam's Park. W Sam's Park, Gav KKD edits with the Ungler and Munker with the Laughing Disco. Thank you, Munker and Gav KKD edits and Sam's Park. W's in the chat for all of them.
Zick grabbed the back of my shirt and whispered, "Let's just go back to bed. It's the one room in the house no one ever goes into." But my little brother laughed. "You're a baby. I knew you'd be too scared to go through with this." I clenched my fists because I was sick
You're
of
hiding
being
it,
pushed
Blue
around by
Monkey.
my brothers. Fine, I'll open it, but only if I get control
You're
over
hiding
the
it,
TV remote
punies.
for 2 weeks. They both groaned and nodded, but when I put my hand on the doorknob, I heard scratching sounds against the
Oh,
window.
nah.
And I didn't even know if the TV
Shout out to
remote would
Glenn.
be worth it. But I shut my eyes. Here goes nothing. The door swung open, and when I opened my
Give
eyes,
her the gold
a
coin,
homeless
Nicole.
man was sitting against the far wall, a blanket pulled up to his chest.
That's
his phone
Amelia.
plugged into our socket, with food wrappers scattered all around him. My brothers gasped, and he stared right at me. "You three are usually asleep at this time," he said calmly. A person had been living in the room at the end of our hall, and the ghost
Shout out to
radar app
Mason.
found him using his phone signal. All three of us screamed for our parents.
Oh,
but the
nah.
homeless man just shrugged. "I guess my time here is up." And as he walked out,
You
the
sound a
green
little
dot was
sick.
still sitting
Yeah, my
right
nose is like a bit runny.
on him.
Shut the
I won the
dog.
remote for 2 weeks, but he'd had way longer, with all three of us asleep down the hall. I was in the living room filming the viral Get Sturdy dance when my dad
What
got
the
up
hell?
off the couch and said, "I always been a dancer. Watch this." He tried one move
Dun,
and nearly
dun.
turned
Oh
his
my
hip out,
God.
grabbing the counter to catch himself. I
Holy.
laughed so hard I fell on the carpet. "Dad, you can't move like you used to."
Shout out to
He stared
Jess, a
straight,
Rubik's
fixed his shirt,
Cube.
and looked me dead in the eye. "I used to kill it at every party back in my day. I'm going
Cap.
to become the best dad TikTok dancer." I kept laughing, but he just smirked. "Watch me." That weekend, he came home carrying a ring light and one of those electronic tripods that spins to follow you while you dance. "Dad, what is all that for?" He set the boxes down and said, "I've been researching the creator meta." That night, I walked past the garage and he was drilling the same 15 seconds over and over in front of a full-length mirror, sticky notes of trending sounds all over the wall. His first video got 40
nah.
views, and I caught him on the couch rewatching it himself, but he kept posting every day, and by
W.
Friday, he shoved his phone in my face because one of his videos cracked 10,000 overnight. He
Damn.
rewarded himself with a new
10,000? Chat, 10,000 is a lot. Shout out to
phone just
Blade
for filming.
Blocks.
That Saturday, me and my friend were filming the Savage Dance.
Oh,
the
hell
one with
nah.
all the hair flips and hip rolls, and my dad asked to jump in. We laughed in his face, but this time he did the entire thing in one take. Every hit cleaner than ours.
Bro's
hair
locked
flip and
in.
all, with the most serious face I've ever seen. We posted it, and it blew up overnight, except every comment was about him. By the end of the week, my own dad had more followers than me, and I was the one asking him which sounds were trending.
Dang.
A few days later, I came home from school and heard music blasting from the garage. I opened the door, and my whole friend group was in there under his ring light, taking dance lessons from my dad. He was walking down the line calling counts. And when
W.
the beat dropped, he hit the same move
You're
that almost
hiding
took him
G-
out in the
gift,
living room.
Gene.
Clean, no counter, no stumble, and my friends started screaming like he was famous. That night, I found him on the couch, right where it all started. "Okay, you got lucky. I'm still the better dancer, though." He didn't even look up, just turned his phone around. His follower count was double mine. Then he stood up,
Damn.
did one slow
Oh, what the hell?
hip roll on his way out of the living room and said,
Shout out to Heather.
"Told you to watch me." I was in
5 more subs. Let's hit 142K. Come on, chat. And then I'll play the next source. Subscribe if you want a shout out, guys. Let's go. Okay.
Every year on my daughter's birthday, my mother-in-law would push my daughter out of the way on the dance floor and start dancing to steal her thunder.
Bro, that's crazy. That is rude, chat.
Last year, I finally had enough and pulled her aside to confront her.
Oh, thank you guys for 142K. I did not even realize that. W's. Damn, we're getting a lot of subs. Shout out to Rana. Legend GT Larp. What the hell, bro? Shout out to Nicole's.
She
Oh my
clenched her
gosh,
fist.
thank you
In my
guys.
childhood, I never got a birthday party, so when there's a dance floor,
Keep summing
that's my
up.
time
They
to
were
shine.
6'7".
You don't get to take that from me. I smirked. "Okay, next time I'm going to let you steal
That's
my
a
daughter's
big bob.
dance." Trisha rolled her eyes. "Good. It's not that big of a deal," but she wasn't ready for what I had planned.
Let's
a
go.
year later, on my daughter's 16th birthday, I came into the venue to prepare the dance floor. I laid a glittering star
That's a
in
Wally.
the dead center of the floor, aimed a disco light straight down at it, and I grinned because I knew Trisha wouldn't be able to resist dancing on it. Little did she know that I'd
They were
specifically
6'7".
chosen this venue because
Wally
under the dance
Lee.
floor was a swimming pool, except I'd convinced the owner to let me fill it with chocolate milk, and under the star was a trap door leading directly into it. Everyone started filing in, and after a few hours, Amber started making her way to the center for her
Hey, what's up? Thank you for the gold coin. They were the laughing disco proper, bruh. W proper, bruh. W proper, bruh. Thank you, proper, bruh, for the laughing disco. W proper, bruh, in the chat. Thank you, bro.
16 dance. She was about to step onto the
You're
star
hiding if
when
Kaden
suddenly
and
Trisha
just
pushed her out of the way.
sprint.
"This is my time to shine." Trisha threw her arms up into the light and stomped both feet onto the star. Suddenly, she dropped
What the
straight
hell?
through the trap door and into
Oh,
the pool,
nah.
with a $1,000 dress and fresh blowout going under in a wave of chocolate milk. The disco
Chocolate milk. Imagine swimming in chocolate milk.
light swung down and locked right on her, brown dripping off
I mean, you can drink it,
her
bro.
chin in the spotlight she'd fought to steal, and she clawed at the wet tile trying to climb out, but kept sliding back in. Amber shouted down, "You wanted the spotlight, Trisha. It's all yours. Best
If I fell in there, I would just drink the chocolate milk,
sweet
bro.
16th birthday ever." Every year
Like,
I was in
come
a
on.
conga line on a cruise
I don't
ship
get it.
when I heard someone screaming in the ocean. I instantly broke free of the line to see what was going on, but suddenly a man
Brother died. Rest in peace.
at the front grabbed my
Give me the
shoulders
gold coin,
and
Nicole.
shoved me back into the line. Don't do that again. Ignore it. Goosebumps went up my arms, and I knew something was very wrong. I stomped on his foot, yanked free, and reached the railing just as a pregnant woman surfaced in the water.
Oh, hell
screaming,
no.
"Help! I
Give me the hiding of Dark Mellow. You're me? What's up, bro? Don't spam, though. Don't spam.
can't swim! He pushed me! I screamed and pointed at her. There's a woman drowning in the water! But the man cupped his hands around his mouth. She's kidding, folks! Keep it moving! And the line danced past me like I was part of the show. I leaned over the railing, and the woman was completely still now, with her head tipped back and her mouth just breaking the surface. My heart was slamming because I knew she didn't
Guys,
have
like
long.
up the
So
stream.
I ripped the DJ's cable out of the speaker, and the music died mid-beat. There's a woman in the water! She can't swim!
You were
Someone
the
needs to
hiding
rescue
if
her.
Olga.
200 people hit the railing, and the same line that was dancing 30 seconds ago locked wrists down the ladder, every hand gripping each other's. They hauled the woman over the rail, coughing up seawater. She kept one arm on her pregnant belly and weakly raised the other to point at the man who forced me not to save her.
Oh, hell nah. You were the hiding if Kaden. Yo! Oh! Yo, I got boogers. They were
Click
the
the red
trophy
button on my
cake.
page.
Gion. And they were the $2 Sam's Park. Click the red button on your page. Let me see your channel. W Gion though with the trophy cake. Thank you, Gion. You're not live or anything. What do you mean, bro? I don't see you. But W Gion and Sam's Park. They were the two Sam's Park. And thank you for the trophy cake, Gion. W Gion. You're the gold coin, Liam. W Gion. Sub farming isn't cool. Just like how I took your mama isn't cool. Hey, yo. Oh, hell nah, Cricks.
That's my husband. He started the conga, so
You're
nobody
hiding if unique
would
trailers.
hear the splash. He doesn't want to raise our daughter together.
W Gion though with the freaking trophy cake. Thank you, Gion.
Backed toward the stairwell.
They were
palms
the
up.
two.
That's not true. She fell.
Sam's
She's
Park.
drunk. She
They were
fell.
6'7",
but I planted
babe.
myself across the steps and didn't move. Security zip-tied his hands to the railing his wife went over. Behind us, the
They were the
speakers
W
crackled back
South,
on,
Shaw.
playing that same conga song to an empty dance floor. I was
W. They were the trophy cake again. Volks aim. W Volks aim this time with the trophy cake. Thank you, Volks aim. W Volks aim in the chat. They were the party hat, Dominic. Why do you sub farm? Because I farted on you. Yo, W Volks aim. I don't even sub farm. W Volks aim though with the trophy cake. No problem yet. Thank you so much, Volks aim. W.
My son Harry
Thank
was
you,
crying
dude.
when I picked him up from school.
You're goated.
saying, Mr. Wilson gave me a month of detention and a 0 for the unit. I asked
Thank
him,
you,
what
dude.
happened? He said the Great Wall of China
W.
is the only
Volksen.
man-made thing you can see from space. So I took out my spacebook and showed him astronauts proved that's wrong since the wall is too skinny and blends into the ground.
What?
But I was
Oh,
walking
no.
on stage for my biggest show yet when I noticed my mom
Hold on.
was walking
Before we start this one, they were the laughing disco Mason. W Mason McKenzie. W Mason. Thank you, Mason. You're the GOAT, Mason. W.
on stage for my biggest show yet when I noticed my mom's seat was empty again. I blinked back tears and picked up my guitar anyway, pretending it didn't shatter me. When I got home, she
Cricks,
was
that
slumped in her
why-
work
that's
uniform,
why I
eyes red
farted,
from
bro.
exhaustion. Sorry, I had to pick
That's
up
why I
another
farted.
shift. I just nodded, but my body
Yo,
shook with
LARP,
rage.
chill.
Ever since I picked up a guitar at 7,
got a
being
LARP.
a musician was my dream, and she never showed up to support me once. Why was work always more important than me? But the night that changed everything was my final
Thank
showcase
you.
before college. My heart pounded as I peeked through the curtains and saw the Juilliard scouts waiting, the ones who could decide my whole future. I called my mom, nervous. Please, Mom, I need you
They were
here.
the
This show
GG
decides everything."
Jam Eid.
She just sighed. I can't. You'll understand one day. I didn't know what she meant, and something in me snapped. No, you're a terrible mother, and you never believed in me. I hung up and walked on stage, playing angrier than I ever had. But when it ended, my phone buzzed with her name, and my heart leapt. Maybe she came. I picked up, and a stranger's voice answered. Are you her daughter? Yes, I
Oh,
whispered.
nah.
This is the hospital. Your mother
They were the
collapsed
GG Easy Mason.
at work.
Let me
I'm so
Mason.
sorry. We couldn't revive her. The phone slipped from my hand, and I collapsed.
Alright,
sobbing. I
you're
couldn't
just gonna
understand
get
why she
timed
worked
out for
herself to
5
death over a
minutes.
job until the next day. The next morning, I sat frozen on my floor, phone still in my hand. It buzzed, and when I opened the email, I'd gotten into Juilliard, the dream I'd chased since I was 7. Then I saw the tuition, and my chest caved in. It was
Guys, like up the stream and subscribe. Thank you guys for 142K though. You guys are goated. They were the floating car Mason.
thousands more than I could ever afford. I'd lost my mom and my dream in one breath.
They were the
I crawled
GG
into the
Jam-
room and
Jamie
collapsed on her bed, wishing she
Jamie
believed in me
D.
just once. That's when I saw the envelope on her nightstand. My name on the front. Beneath it, open when you get accepted. My hands shook as I tore it open. Cash spilled out. Every
What the
dollar
fu-
from every shift she ever worked. Enough for all 4 years. Then I found her note.
Banana Monkey. Don't I know? Oh, I do. That guy, I forgot about him. They were the hiding gift, Crystal.
Sorry I missed your shows. I worked every day so you could afford your
Shout
dream.
out to the
I
hot
always
rod.
believed in you, even if it didn't look like it. Love.
They were the makeup brush, Mason.
Mom, every empty
That'd be
seat
Mason.
wasn't her choosing work over me. It was her choosing me, and I never got to say
Shout out to Not Riley. Guys, subscribe if you want to shout out and feel free to send gifts like Laughing Discos. You're a big fan. Thank you, bro. You're the hiding gift, Ricardo. W.
thank you. I
That's
was
a
walking
Maddie.
on stage. During my morning shift as a police officer, my chief ran in and grabbed my shoulder. Someone stole one of our police cars. We need to find it. He showed me the CCTV
That's the silliest
4 hours
strings.
ago of a man in a mask getting into the car. He wore gloves to leave
Thank you
no
for the sub, bro.
fingerprints and had even cloned the vehicle's fob to disable the
Oh, nah.
alarm.
What is bro? They were the hiding gift, King Torres.
Instantly-
Is bro trying to steal a car? It is not going to work out for him, bro.
Checked the vehicle's tracker, but it
Are
had
we
been
serious?
turned off.
Shout
I
out
knew
to
whoever
Sarah.
we were dealing with was a genius. Me and the chief started blindly driving, looking for the car, thinking we'd never
You're a big fan. Thank you,
find
Donnie.
it. But then at a stoplight, we saw a
You're the
teenager
goat,
with a candy bar
Donnie.
wrestling a security guard. He'd clearly been shoplifting, so we slammed the car in.
You think you have sore throat? To fix it, bro, you gotta put like your pot. You gotta put your face in hot water, like in a pot. Well, no, I don't think that'll help, but eat like ginger.
Park and
I
ran.
don't know.
I tackled the teenager and cuffed him. But just as we were about to let him off with a warning,
You were the
because
hiding
we had
gift,
more
Joe.
important matters, he screamed, "It wasn't me. I didn't steal your police car last night." I paused for a second. Wait, how do you know about the stolen police car? His eyes suddenly went wide. I saw the guy who did it. But my chief went through his pockets and pulled out the exact mask we'd seen on the CCTV video. I got in his face. "Where's the car? I'm not telling you." He spat at me.
Shout out to
Then
Angela.
while walking him to the cruiser, I saw our
But yeah,
stolen
chat,
police
like,
vehicle
and
parked
subscribe,
right behind the
guys.
store he'd been shoplifting at. You're a whole new level of stupid. I shoved him inside the same car he'd stolen. During my morning shift as a police officer,
Dang.
my parents surprised my twin brother with a BMW
Chat, not gonna lie, her story, the channel is pretty good, bro.
for his 16th birthday. I stood in the driveway holding my bus pass. What about me? My dad didn't look up. What about you? I crossed my arms. I saved $800 and asked you for help to buy a car. You told me no. You always choose him over me. Killian laughed. The bus will do for you. I pocketed the bus pass and swore I'd keep it until the day I proved them wrong. And that same day, I bought a car for $800. The door
Wait,
was loose.
guys,
The engine
like
barely
up the
had
stream
oil
and
sitting in it,
subscribe.
but I
You'll
was going to
donate
make it work.
100,
I
bro?
found a
That
guy
would
on
be
YouTube
insane.
who rebuilt
You don't have to, though.
engines, and I watched the same video 4 times, pausing and rewinding until I understood what he was doing with his hands. When I finally got the hang of it, my twin
You were the
brother
hiding gift, Joe.
pulled up into our driveway. "You paid $800 for this piece of crap?" He laughed. "I guess it does match your vibe." For 6 months, I rebuilt the whole thing in our driveway by myself while the neighbors watched. Nobody in my family said a word about it. But one day, when I was almost finished, a woman interrupted me. "My AC died last week. You think you could take a look?" I laughed. "I'm not a mechanic. I just watch YouTube
You were the
videos."
star,
She looked
Richard.
at the engine I'd just put back together. Close enough. She came back the next week with her husband's truck. He came back with
Thank you for the $2, Sam's Park. Check my page for the message. I got you, bro. Real quick, I got you.
Check my page for the message.
Subscribe to my channel and your stream to do so well. Thank you, Sam's Park, for saying that. W Sam's Park. This guy sent $2 and he said that he hopes my stream does well. Thank you, Sam's Park. You're the GOAT, bro. W. Thank you, dude.
his coworker's Jeep. When I graduated high school,
That's a
I
little
rented a
AC
garage across
Fox.
town and put up a sign. So many customers came that I didn't even bother going to college. And I guess word got around because
WG-tag. I
one
got you.
day,
You
my
were
twin
hiding
brother
of Goose
Killian called.
Penguin.
"Hey, my BMW broke down and mom said
W Sam's
you
Park.
work in a garage, so can you fix it?" I laughed. "Sure." Killian pulled up in a tow truck, and when he got out, he froze. 6 restored cars were lined up outside.
Oh my god, 6? Holy chat. That's insane. They were the hiding if goal. Okay, wait. Yo!
W.
They were the Uncle Alert, Amanda! 2 Uncle Alerts, Amanda! They were the $5 KVR. Shout out to the Leapy Fish. W Amanda with the Uncle Alerts and WKVR with the $5. Thank you both. W's. WKVR and Amanda, thank you both. They were the hiding if Guerrilla Games. Let's go. Let's go, bro. Thank you. W Amanda and KVR. You guys are both W's. W.
A 1967 Mustang, a Porsche.
You were the hiding
911,
gift, Chris.
a blacked out
W.
Corvette. He walked past
Hold up. What did he say? What did he? Oh.
them like he was in a museum. "Whose shop is this?" "Mine." He went quiet, and I popped the hood
Can
of
I
his
get
BMW,
Perm
and
Dragon?
it only
Please,
took
this
me
is my
5
dream, maybe. Yeah.
minutes
You
to
were the hiding gift. Cassandra.
what was wrong. This is a quick fix, but when's the last time you did any maintenance on this? He shrugged. I don't know how to do that stuff, so can you fix it or what? I wiped my hands.
Shout out to
Yeah, I
Quintero.
can fix it, but I'm not going to. He stared at me. What do you mean? I smiled because it was the moment I'd been waiting for ever since I turned 16. I slid my old
What?
bus pass across the counter. The bus will do for you. My parents surprised.
W. Chat, keep subscribing if you want a shout out. Welcome back, Liam.
My brother Jason was a psychopath who never got caught. When he was 12, he destroyed my Xbox with a hammer. But the second my dad walked in, he dropped the hammer at my feet and cried that I hit him with it. My dad looked around, then walked away. Then Jason set my bed on fire while I was in it. I jumped off as the flames spread, and my dad ran in and saw
Shout out to Condra. See Hondra? I don't know.
Jason.
Shout out to Bloxroot. Shout out to Spacey Toast. You always remember your first ever VR video? Yeah, me too, bro. They were the $2 Gold VR.
Now
Thank
here's
you.
some money for you. I gave you 7 hidings.
Thank you for the 7 hiding gifts too. W Gold VR. Thank you, Gold VR. W Gold. They were the hiding gift Ori the Oreo. And thank you for the laughing disco Scholastic. W Scholastic with the laughing disco. W Gold VR and Scholastic. Thank you both. W's.
holding the lighter. Jason quickly said I'd set my own
W,
bed on fire
man.
and gave him the lighter to frame him. My dad
Shout out to
the
Flow
flames
State
and walked
movies.
away without a word. But next Sunday, our mom was in the kitchen making dinner, and she was
They were
facing
hiding
away
gift
from the
Chris
hallway.
Leah. You're welcome video. You're welcome legend. No problem, bro.
Suddenly, my dad walked into the hallway
thank you.
with Jason
Yeah, thank
and
you.
pulled a knife out of a drawer. My dad
Give her
gave
the
it to
W,
Jason
Alexa.
and told him, "I want you to go hurt mom." Jason shook his head
Oh,
and said,
nah.
"I'm not a bad kid. I can't do something like that." But my dad smiled and replied, "I've seen
Shout
you
to
set the
Jared.
bed on fire. I know you got it in you. I took out a life insurance policy on her, and we can split the money." Jason's face changed, and he smiled, and my dad pointed at mom in the kitchen with her back turned. I was frozen on the couch.
Give her the gold
and
coin
Jason
crystal.
slowly walked towards mom. I shouted, "Mom, watch out!" But then I saw she had her noise-canceling headphones in and couldn't hear a thing. I jumped up to try physically stop Jason, but my dad immediately got in my way. I shouted, "Dad, what are you doing?" But he just smiled. I screamed louder, begging mom to hear me, but she just kept prepping dinner while Jason
her the
was
hiding
5
gift,
feet
John.
behind her with the knife, his hands trembling with excitement. He could finally be himself around dad. I tried to go around my dad to stop Jason, but dad blocked me, and I saw something flashing red in his pocket, but I couldn't see what it was. Jason raised the knife, ready to swing. Suddenly, my dad turned around and got out of my way.
Give her the hiding gift King
And I
Torres.
instantly ran to my mom. I wasn't fast enough. Jason swung the knife at mom's back, and
Oh,
I expelled
nah.
blood. But then the knife collapsed in on itself. It was fake. Jason's smile
Oh, it was fake. W. They were the gold coin
dropped
gold.
instantly, and my mom turned around. That's when I saw dad standing there,
Crazy,
recording
though.
Jason on his phone. He said, "Got you on tape trying to kill your mother, you psychopath."
Give
My
her the
mom
gold
grabbed
coin
Jason
crystal.
from behind and restrained him, while my dad called authorities. He told me they had been trying to get rid of Jason for years, and just needed evidence to get him transferred to a facility.
They were the 6'7" e-bike lover. W e-bike lover. W. Tung, tung, tung. What about apple pie? What do you mean? They were the gold coin crystal.
They set up this sting to capture proof he was a psychopath. Authorities took Jason away, and my dad hugged me and said, "I'm sorry, but there was no other way." I'm pretty sure there was. My brother, I was rocking back and forth on my best friend's rocking horse when it threw me across her bedroom. When I looked up, her brother was in the doorway holding a screwdriver, grinning like he'd been waiting for me to do that all afternoon. I
If you
gasped
see this,
because he
say hi. Hi. Shout out to Robe Guy. Guys, I'm ending stream in about like 5 more minutes or something. So, give it a W crystal. So, subscribe if you want a shout out before I end it. Last chance, chat.
listened it and stayed to watch me fall. My best friend Allie went red, and I followed her as she stormed down the
They
hall.
were
shouting
6'7",
for their
David.
mom.
Shout out to Gold VR. Yo, Gold VR, you're the GOAT, man.
He unscrewed her horse. She
Shout out to Gordy
could have
Morales.
cracked her head. Their mom didn't look up from her phone.
Keep subbing
Boys
up,
like to have
chat.
fun. And anyway,
Shout out to Ian. Shout out to One Piece fan.
he wouldn't do that. Were you two jumping on it again? Her brother leaned on the wall.
Keep
laughing.
subbing up, guys.
It's a baby toy. She's just
Everybody, subscribe if you want a shout out. Don't slow down. Keep going. Shout out to Retro Gamer.
clumsy. Allie slid down the wall
It's
and cried
Catherine.
into her knees. It's always like this. He does something and I get blamed. I'm sorry. I told her it wasn't her fault and called my mom. Can you come get me right now? 20 minutes later, my mom walked into their home unannounced in a full black suit, and their mom shot up.
Shout
Who
out
are
to
you?
DTX James.
My mom didn't answer. She found the wooden wooden horse
That's a
and picked it off
Randis.
the floor. Your son took this apart so my daughter would fall. She turned it over. 6 screws in this base. He took out 4. Enough to drop her, almost enough to get away with it. She turned to their mom. Your daughter cried on that floor, and you asked what she did. He didn't do this
Oh,
because
nah.
he's a boy. He did it because
They were hiding it, Vivian.
never once told him no. She held her hand out to him. Give it to me. He looked to his mom, but she stared at the carpet. So
That's a Jaquetta.
he set the screwdriver in her hand. She crouched to his level. You're not clever, funny, sneaky, or anything else your friends tell you. You're just protected. She turned her back on him and knelt in front of my friend. He does this a lot? My friend nodded, and the tears came. Always. My mom held her face in both hands. I believe you. She
They were hiding it, Jay
it
Jackson.
back together. Go on. We climbed on and rocked it as hard as we could, and it held. The favorite kid finally lost, and his mom couldn't say a word. He watched from the doorway, alone, as we rode the horse he'd rigged to drop me.
W ending. They were the laughing disco Santiago. W Santiago with the laughing disco. Thank you, Santiago. W Santiago, bro. Thank you so much for the laughing disco.
clutched
That's genuinely W. Shout out to Mimic VR.
Aching jaw in the schoolyard, groaning because of my toothache. I had 2 loose teeth and cavities forming in both of them, but mom didn't have the
Dang.
money to take me to a dentist.
They were the W,
So I'd
David.
been suffering a toothache in silence for weeks. During lunch, the pain got so bad I started crying, and that's when my bully Nelson walked over, pounding his fists and
Oh,
grinning.
nah.
I shook my head. Please not today, Nelson. I've already got a
They were the laughing disco Moondog. W Moondog and Santiago. Thank you, Moondog, for the laughing disco. W Moondog and Santiago. Bye, Caden. Thank you for all the gifts, Caden. You're the GOAT, man. W Moondog and Santiago, though.
But he got in my face and narrowed his eyes. Show me. I paused and gulped. What?
Give her the gold
Show me
coin,
your toothache.
Maria.
I won't ask again. I gulped and opened my mouth, expecting him to laugh at my loose and cavity-filled teeth like everyone else. But Nelson just smirked. I see, and immediately punched me in the face right where those teeth were. They fell out,
But
and
I
I
didn't
doubled
give-
over, gripping my face in pain. I
It's
was
a
about to cry
Donzo.
when suddenly I realized my toothache was gone now that my sore teeth were out. The only thing sore was my face. I stood up. Nelson, my toothache is gone. He smiled. Nothing gets to bully you except me. He walked away. Anyway, we're married now. I clutched my aching jaw in
They were hiding it, Vivian. They were the GOAT trophy, Cristiano. They were the duckling gift, David. W David with the duckling gift. And Cristiano with the GOAT trophy. They were 6'7" Maria. They were the W Jasmine. They were the GG Brittany. W though, David with the duckling. And Cristiano with the GOAT trophy. They were the laughing disco Carson. Oh my god, W Carson. David. And Cristiano, and they were the duckling gift too. Goofy Games and David Hogler. Grape Animates. W Grape Animates. Goofy Games. Carson. David. And Cristiano. Holy. Thank you, especially Grape Animates, Goofy Games. David and Cristiano. And Carson. Thank you all. W's. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it for the big gifts. Thank you.
the schoolyard.
You're
groaning
nodding
because
it,
of my
David. W. It's me, Tano31. Oh, I remember you from the Discord. Yeah. Thank you, bro. They were the hiding gifts, David. If you'd see this, stop screaming. I have headphones on and my parents can hear. Okay, I'll try to be lower. Shut the Lamine Mall.
toothache. I had 2 loose teeth and cavities forming in both of them. I found the toughest officer in our prison crying behind the laundry building. I awkwardly tapped his shoulder because I'd never seen an officer cry before, and he took out his phone to show me a video of his daughter in a pink leotard. She's 7. A
Yo,
woman
can you
Oh,
shout
damn.
me out?
Yeah! Thank you for the $20. KVR. Shout out to KVR with the $20. Thank you, KVR. WKVR, you're actually goated. Shout out to KVR. Thank you for the $20. WKVR. Goodness. WKVR. Thank you, bro. You're actually goated. Shout out to KVR.
walking home from dance class last night. The
Goated,
doctors don't
man.
know if she'll
Thank
wake
you.
up in time for her dance show. Santiago was the only CO who ever treated us prisoners like we were human, so I promised
You're a
him that
star.
the woman who did this was going to pay for it.
W.
That night, I told the
Thank you, KVR. WKVR.
Sidewalk what happened, and Tanya set her cards down slowly. You said this happened to Santiago's daughter? I nodded, and she slammed her fists. Oh, hell no. That guard helped me get temporary leave from prison so I could go to my
Thank
brother's
you.
funeral. That woman will pay. Consider it handled. 2 days later, Tanya found me and laughed. My sister found the woman who did it. She jumped her in the same alley she'd attacked his daughter in. I sprinted
Oh,
to
nah.
tell Santiago, but when
That's a
I found him in the
Tariq.
courtyard, he was crying harder than ever. My baby's in critical condition. Machines are breathing for her, and I'm here working doubles for the bills while my baby fights alone.
Amen, Tom Hawk. They were the dollar hyper GD. W Hyper GD with $1. Thank you, Hyper GD. W Hyper GD.
I wiped my
Thank you,
eyes
bro.
because I realized I hadn't fixed one single thing. That night, I huddled together the entire cell for a new plan, one that would make
They would
his daughter
start German.
smile. By the end of it, we all knew what we had to do. And after 3 weeks of planning, Santiago was alone in the yard. And since no one else was looking, I whispered, "We have a surprise for you. Take your phone out and get ready to record." He looked confused, but did it anyway. And all 50 of us stood in lines just like we'd practiced in the block.
What the
We
hell?
danced out the same routine
Yo, why are like 50 of them the same
Santiago
people?
showed me his daughter doing, in perfect sync. We all twirled at the same time.
Oh my god. They were the Uncle Grape Animates. W Grape Animates. They were the hiding gift, Anthony. They were the $2 Hyper GD. W Grape Animates with the Uncle and W Hyper GD with the $2. Can you join my Discord Legend GT? Yes, bro, do that. They were the Uncle Betty. W Betty. W Betty, Grape Animates, and Hyper GD with the 2. Thank you guys for the Unklers, Betty and Grape Animates, and thank you for the $2 Hyper GD. W.
Shuffle hop and then
Thank you guys.
moved into jazz hands. Moved
You were 6-7 goofy games. You were the hiding
was
gift,
made for a
Christy.
7-year-old in a pink leotard, performed by 50 women
Christy.
in orange jumpsuits. We landed the final pose together with one arm stretched up to
What the hell is this dance, bro?
sky, the exact ending from the video on his phone. We couldn't
They were
visit
hiding
his
it,
daughter,
Bubble.
so we sent her recital to her. Santiago started tearing up, and his jaw quivered like he didn't even know what to say. He sent her the video that night, and 3 weeks later, she opened her eyes. The next day, she had her real recital in our yard, and every woman in her audience already knew the moves. I found the
W. Bro is not saying Bucha. That is not saying Bucha in my chat. Shout out to Pablo. They were the 6-7 Christine. W. Betty with the laughing disco. W Betty in the chat. Thank you, Betty, for the laughing disco. W Betty, bro. Thank you, Betty. W Betty with the laughing disco. You're actually goated, Betty. W Betty.
Someone grabbed my service dog
Thank you.
Maple's harness at my best friend Leo's wedding reception and yanked her away from me before I could react. I've been blind since Leo wrapped his dad's car.
Thank you for the laughing disco, Betty. W Betty. And thank you for the laughing disco. Chief Swag. W Chief Swag. They were 6-7 Christine. W Chief Swag and Betty. Thank you both.
Found a telephone pole when we were 14, and he spent 13 years making up
W's.
for it, right down to asking me to be his best woman. I shot up out of my chair.
The
Let go of
hiding
her,
of
the
Heather.
woman laughed. I've been watching you all night, and real blind people don't move like that. You're faking it to keep Leo attached forever. She let go of the harness, and I heard her heels click away, only for them to click back a minute later.
Okay, chat. I'm gonna be right back because I gotta blow my nose. So give me like a minute. I'm gonna leave this short playing, okay? Does that sound good, chat? Yes or no? Alright. Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm gonna be right back. Alright, guys? Good? Is that good? They were 6-7 Chief Swag. I'm gonna keep this short playing. If you send gifts, I'll see it after. So feel free to send gifts. It won't matter, but yeah.
Her
They were the $2 Hyper GD. W Hyper GD. Yo, money talks. Yo, yes sir. W Hyper GD.
Money talk.
What I didn't give. W Hyper GD. Thank you, bro. All right, I'm gonna be right back, chat. Thank you,
Someone
Hyper.
needs you right now. It's urgent. She grabbed my elbow and guided me through the noise, the air turning colder, concrete echoing under our feet. Then a door opened. She ripped Maple's harness from my hand, put her somewhere into the dark, and I heard a door slam. Good luck finding your way back, faker. A lock clicked. I pressed my back against the wall. 13 years of darkness suddenly feeling heavier than it ever had. A staff member found me 20 minutes later, crying against the cold concrete, and led me to Leo. The second I told Leo someone had taken Maple, his hand found mine, shaking with rage. Come with me. He took me to his bride, Rosalind. I need you to hear something. Rosalind grabbed my hand the moment Leo finished explaining, already crying. Do you think it was my mom? We found her mom, Evelyn, sipping champagne by the cake table like nothing had happened. Where's the dog? Leo's voice cut across the whole reception. I heard the same voice from before respond. I was protecting you from this liar. She's been faking the whole. Leo cut her off. She's not faking. She's been blind
chat,
since she
I'm
was
back,
14
I'm
because
back.
of me. The room went
I'm
dead
back.
silent.
Welcome
Evelyn
back.
stumbled backward into the cake table, 5 tears collapsing on top of her, frosting sliding down into her eyes. I can't see, she shrieked, clawing at her face. I didn't care. Where is my dog? Evelyn sputtered out something about a storage closet near the
I'm
kitchen,
back,
still
chat.
blinking frosting out of her eyes as security walked
Go
around.
leave
Leo
again?
found Maple 10
Bruh.
minutes later, shaking but unharmed. I buried my face in her fur and didn't let go for a long time. Someone grabbed my service dog.
Okay, hold up. Let me check if anybody sent gifts that I missed. They were the gold coin. They were the hiding if not. They were the
Buy
W
soda.
marker. I will. Yo, thank you for the $2 again, Hyper GD. W Hyper GD with the $2 again, bro. W Hyper GD. Thank you. I will buy a soda. They were the live. Let's go, Chief Swag. W Chief Swag and Hyper GD. Thank you both. W Chief Swag and Hyper GD. I appreciate both of you for the donations. W's.
My
Thank
foster
you.
mom threw a trash bag filled with my belongings on the porch.
W.
You're 18 now,
You're
which
6'7"
means the state
KVL.
isn't giving me money to house you anymore. Goodbye. She slammed the door in my face while my foster siblings pressed
We're
their
hiding
faces
of
against the
Dorothy.
window. I waved, but the second they couldn't see me anymore, I broke down crying. Where was I supposed
Thank
to
you,
go?
guys.
I stumbled to the nearby bus stop, and there was a poster on the window. Open casting call. Models wanted. No experience needed.
If Legend reads this, I'll donate 10. I ready. They were the hiding of Dorothy. You don't have to donate 10.
I shrugged because I didn't have anything
You already sent a lot, bro. They were the GG Betty.
to lose, and I needed money to send my siblings and help them survive.
You were
Screw
the
it.
W.
When I got to
Jackson.
the agency, the woman put her fingers around my wrist. You have good bones. Terrible everything else, but we can work with it. My first check was $800, and I put
800? Damn. They were the hiding
most
of.
of it in an envelope to send to the foster home, and spent the rest on moving into an apartment in the ghetto. And on my 5th month coming into the job, the woman was about to hand me a $4,000
That's a pancake power. They were the W Dorothy. Chat. We're gonna watch one more shore after this, and then I gotta go.
paycheck, but she stopped midair. Our background team
They were the
found out
Happy
you've been
Poop
mailing
Chief
them
swag, and they were the
money to the
WKV.
foster kids. You can't do that anymore. It's bad for branding. My jaw dropped. The money isn't worth it if I can't send it to my foster siblings who are still stuck in that house. She smiled like she was ready to replace me. Well then, I hope you enjoy begging on
You
the
were the
corner
W
again.
Betty,
That same
and
day,
the
I came
hiding
home
of
to an
Sabrina.
eviction notice on the door, and the first thing I did was walk to
They
the
were the two
corner
W's.
by my foster mom's house. It was late at night, so I peeped through the window, but almost all the kids were gone, except for my youngest foster sister who was
They were the flower
raiding
Sabrina.
the fridge. She sprinted to the front door and opened it wide. Big sis, we've been wondering where you were. Billy and the twins got a place 2 streets over with your money. She pressed an envelope into my hands, one of mine, with an address written on the back. There's a bed made up for you. I smiled so hard my cheeks hurt. Every envelope I'd mailed was me taking care of them. I never realized they were building a place to take care of me. I held it against my chest and walked the 2 streets home. My
W. Thank you for the high five, Kavion. W Kavion with the high five. Thank you so much, Kavion. They were the hiding of Chief swag. W Kavion though, bro. You're actually good, Kavion. W. Alright, chat. We're gonna watch one last short and then I gotta end stream. So, everybody, just to get ready for it, you all need to like the stream and subscribe. Shout out to Andrew before I end it. If you subscribe, I'll give you a shout out. So that's the big part. So you all have to subscribe right now. Alright, so subscribe right now. Starting 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody subscribe. Come on, come on. Oh my gosh, they were the Sunday Kavion. W Kavion with the Sunday. Thank you, bro. W Kavion. You're actually go to Kavion. But everybody, subscribe right now before I end the stream. If you want a shout out, because I'm going to have to go. W Kavion, though. Last chance, chat. I'm going to shout out people, and then we're going to play our last source. So, this is your last chance, guys. They were the hiding of Crimson. But first of all, I need to fix something. I'm giving you guys time to subscribe. They were the hiding of Becca. Everybody, keep summing up. Come on. Alright, shout out to Caden. Shout out to Girl Pops. Shout out to Swain. Shout out to Kim Cash. Shout out to Catalea. Shout out to Miss Chief. They were the W Scosalatic? What? I forgot how to say the name. They were the Laughing Disco, Kathy. W Kathy with the Laughing Disco. Thank you, Kathy. That's iconic. Shout out to Icon. I'll give more shout outs after
I
this
gave a
short chat.
in her extra hot black coffee, but 2 hours later, she
Shout out
slammed
to
it back on
Christopher.
my
They were the
counter.
Laughing Disco again, Kathy. W Kathy. They were the W and GG. W Kathy.
This is
Thank
cold.
you.
I calmly replied,
W.
It's
Kathy.
cold because you've spent 2
Shout out
hours
to
scrolling
Lily.
your phone not drinking a sip, ma'am. I've watched you. She sneered and jabbed a
Shout out
finger
to
at the
Maro.
cup. Unacceptable. You should
Shout
make
out-
coffee
shout
so it
out to
doesn't cool
Nicole.
down. My brain stopped working. Ma'am, making a coffee that doesn't cool down would break the laws of physics.
Shout out to
Plus,
Strawberry
if it never
Plays.
cooled down, it would stay boiling and be too hot to drink anyway. Her face went from red to
Shout out to
purple,
Knight
and she
Rider.
smacked the counter. Then I'm getting my money back. I told her we can't offer a refund on a coffee she never drank, but her hand was already reaching for the tip jar. I wasn't asking. Her fingers shot into the tip jar and she grabbed a
Oh,
handful
nah.
of bills. My jaw dropped and I yanked the jar away from her, but she yanked too, and the jar flew and exploded on the
Oh my
floor.
gosh.
Change and crumpled dollars went flying across the whole cafe, and
That's
she
a
instantly
bonk.
dropped to her knees, stuffing the hundreds of dollars of our tips into her purse. I was about to run at her, but then Bert appeared out the corner. He was 16 and only here because his dad said he needed a job.
Who the hell is Bert, bro?
He looked down at the woman crawling through our tips. Hey, I heard you wanted hot coffee. He picked
Shout
up
out to Cool Freddy.
and tipped it straight onto her hands. She instantly screamed and cradled her hand, shaking in pain. I
Oh my
grabbed
God.
my head. Bert, she's gonna sue us. But he just shrugged. Don't care.
That's crazy, bro. Shout out to
My
Trinity.
dad's rich anyway. I looked at the woman
That's
and
an
laughed
angel.
because she low-key deserved it. I gave a woman her
I mean, yeah, that's true. All right. You know what time it is. It is time to end the stream now. This was a blast. I've been having fun, you know. I'm still going to give shout outs to people who I haven't shouted out yet, who subscribed. So subscribe if you want a shout out before I go. Come on. Shout out to Maro. Shout out to Kobe. Shout out to Cool Player. Shout out to Blood Dud. I don't know. Shout out to Milo. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Green Beanstalk. Shout out to Nicole Simpson. They were the jamming gift. Lex. W Lex with the jamming gift. Thank you, Lex. W Lex, bro. They were the hiding gift, Maria. Shout out to TwistX. Shout out to Yay. If you are not subscribed, you're not getting a shout out. So I would subscribe. Shout out to Carson. Shout out to Baby June. Shout out to Kiwi. Thank you, guys. Shout out to JDR. They were the hiding gifts. Let's see here. Shout out to Onyx Gaming. Alright, bro. I'm gonna give a few more shout outs. Shout out to Reload, Reaper. Shout out to Robert Bob. Shout out to Toby. Shout out to Roxon. Shout out to Dragon. They were the hiding gift, Flacco. Shout out to Flacco. Shout out to Toby. They were the 6-7 Lex. Shout out to Liam. And shout out to Angel and Sonic Dream. And Muffin 2. And Junior Caesar. And freaking Darian. And Gabriel and Jamie. And YT, bro. Okay. They were hiding of Zayad. If you didn't get a shout out, I'm sorry. The chat's going so fast. Shout out to Samuel. Shout out to Regina. But shout out to Beast Mode and Doey. Shout out to one of the haters. Shout out to I Frock Eats Rock. But yeah. Alright, if you didn't get a shout out, I'm sorry. I'll give you a shout out on tomorrow's live stream. I can't shout out everybody, I'm sorry. But I'm gonna end it here, chat. Thank you all for joining in. This was a great stream. Just a Hyper GD, got you, bro. Thank you for all the donations. You're goated. But this was a great stream, chat. I want to thank you all for joining in. You know, this was great. All right. One more thing though, before I end the stream, I will be live tomorrow at around the same time. There were the $2, Landon John. Landon John with the $2. Thank you, Landon John. But make sure you guys join tomorrow's live stream. I'll be live at around the same time. We'll react to these shorts again. They were the jamming gift Lex. Lex and Landon John. But I'm going to go now, chat. So I hope you guys have a good day. All right. Thank you all for joining in. But thank you guys for the gifts. Lex and Landon. Thank you guys for the donations. But I'm going to head out. So to Philo Mena. All right. Thank you all for joining. All right. One more thing, though. They were the gold coin, Kaylin. I might do another live stream tomorrow playing Roblox. If I don't, then I don't, but I might. Shout out to Marque. So, make sure you guys are staying tuned for that too. That's going to be cool. Alright, guys? They were the Uncler Elizabeth. Elizabeth with the Uncler. Thank you, Elizabeth. But, yeah, chat, I'm going to head out now. Also, one more thing. Join my Discord server. It's in my channel links, okay? It's in my YouTube channel description. There's like multiple links. Well, there's one link. And that link is for my Discord server. Elizabeth with the Uncler, though. Give her the gold coin. And just jamming gift again, Lex. Lex. But I'm going to go now, chat. Make sure you join my Discord server and join tomorrow's live stream. I'll be live around the same time. Alright, chat? I'm going to go now, though. Give her the Uncler again, Elizabeth. Elizabeth. But yeah, guys. Alright, bye. Elizabeth, though. Make sure you join tomorrow's live stream I'll be live around the same time that I streamed today. Alright? Bye, chat.